Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. This time it's a little bit different versus the everyday that I happen to bring you. This one is about the Super Bowl, and this is something that I really haven't talked about on this platform or directly on this channel for a multitude of reasons. And it seems as though this is one of the most controversial and one of the most what seems to be hated halftime shows, at least by a certain demographic of people directly out there. So what I want to showcase is just a varying opinions, well, at least of the hater kind, when it deals with the halftime show. So let's get started. And again, there's a poll directly up there so people can come through and just vote yes or no if they agreed or liked the halftime show or whatnot or whatever.
Sorry, Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not mainstream. Like, people do not know those songs. The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking Mandarin. All right, because nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously. But nobody knows these songs. Second of all, Blickety Black Black, I'm So Much Blacker Than You. Halftime shows are very passe. Like, that stuff peaked in the BLM era. It's very not of this moment. It very much does not work. And also, it's been done better. So at this point, nobody cares. Third of all, 43-year-old mother of two, Serena Williams, in a bad blonde wig, like crip walking, is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for her. She should be embarrassed for herself. It's just all really, really passe. There is nothing about that halftime performance that worked. So what I need to tell the NFL, Rock Nation, anybody's doing that Super Bowl, try to make a show that's for all of America, because that was not for all of America. That was for like a fringe that knows Kendrick Lamar and that knows, his reps. Like, you're not going to tell me that that man is mainstream, that this is some mainstream superstar whose songs everybody knows, because I am telling you, the people that I was with, those white people at this place that I was with, were looking at each other like, they didn't know what was going on. All right, I didn't know what was going on. It was whack. It was boring. It wasn't cool. I'm tired of rappers at the Super Bowl. Like, can we have one Super Bowl where we just do something that just brings different genres together? Like, I'm tired of seeing rappers bopping around. It was embarrassing. It was bad. And there's a lot of black people in media that, their job is to say that everything that a black celebrity does is great and whatever. I'm here to tell you that it is whack. I don't care what anybody says. Kendrick was whack. Serena was whack. The whole thing was just not good.
So I want to note that this is from a an ultra conservative who is seemingly black, who is like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. What was this even about? This made no sense. And the key part that he wanted to state is that, we need, Super Bowl halftime shows that can bring everybody together. What are you talking about? He specifically did a halftime show in order to give a message, to present a message. And the only thing that you can do as a black conservative is come directly up here and start wah 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 wah. That's it. You didn't even try to go in depth. You didn't try to figure anything out. You didn't try to, you know, see that okay, maybe he's matching up with today's politics and he's doing this and he's doing that. So this is wrapped around this other song and he's bringing this forward and none of that. It was just he would rather pretty much from everything that he said he would rather see Mick Jagger, uh, Guns N' Roses, um, who I would almost say Limp Bizkit, but I'm pretty sure nobody of this time actually knows who Limp Bizkit is. Um, the Google Dolls, U2, so, Twisted Sister. I'm pretty sure that he would have rather see anybody else versus seeing black people on stage from everything that he's stating at this moment in time. And this dude has taken a lot of clown takes over time that I've been able to witness and see throughout the years. And somehow, some way, this guy still has a type of following of which people, I guess, look up to. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Blink 182. And all on top of that, alternative rock, I actually like it. But again, when we're dealing with the climate of society and how it is that others want to make their political messages or statements, you have a rap artist that decided to do that and who has been doing that for the longest time possible. And then for whatever reason, he gets on stage and he does the exact same thing he's been doing, and everybody blows up. Everybody's shocked and appalled as if they didn't see this coming. And this is what I happen to state when you have so many people that are on a bandwagon that want to say that a artist is quote unquote hip and they're cool, but you're not even understanding the full context or the content of that artist's discography, the whole sound, and you can't even fathom that, hey, maybe this person is actually complex. Maybe I should actually take the time to break down the lyrics versus just listening to something on a surface level. Right. But like I said before, everything is about bandwagoning and people wanting to like things one day because everybody else likes it and then drop it the next day. Let's continue. And this one is even more of a shocker because I haven't even seen this actor in years. Some of you guys may know who this actor is. Some of you guys may not. But let's go.
Dear fellow Americans, just my quick little rant on this halftime nonsense. I mean, come on, stop with the ghetto crap. I'm done with the ghetto. I've had it up to here with ghetto. I know they want to say rap is this and rap is the streets and rap is the current and rap is the that. Look at jazz. The jump black and jazz blues artists. Give me the Count Basie band. Give me Duke Ellington's band. Give me the history. Give me jazz. You want to go black? Go art. Don't go ghetto. Let's lift the streets. Let's lift these kids off the streets. Enough with the garbage. Enough with the garbage. Enough with bringing these kids down into the garbage. Like that's the cool thing to do and this and that. No. Those gentlemen that created an art form, a gorgeous art form, those jazz artists, let's propagate that in America. Enough with this. Who in the NFL hired this act? And Sam Jackson monkeying around. I mean, I'm sorry. It just repulsed me. It absolutely repulsed me. What was the point? What's the point? Let's lift the kids. Let's give them something to aspire to, talent to aspire to. Let's train them in instruments and jazz and stop this rap crap that everybody thinks is the new Shakespeare. It's not. It's garbage. It's not lifted. It's down. It's down. You have such great musicians, great black jazz musicians and other musicians that could have been used. And instead of this crap, what are they trying to do? What's the message? What's the message in the collard greens? Tell me. This ghetto crap. I'm done with ghetto crap. Lift the streets, man. Lift the streets. And black brothers and sisters, you've got so much talent out there. Lift the streets. Teach your kids dignity. Let's bring them into dignity instead of the street. Instead of shitting in the streets. Enough of it.
So the actor that you were able to directly hear from is Robert DeVee. And this man was like, yo, stop the ghetto crap. Stop this rap crap. It's like anytime I hear somebody who is as old as he is and I hear them speak, all I hear is jive. It's like, what up, bro? Slam him on the black side, turkey jive. It's like, that's all I'm hearing. It's like I'm hearing everything from the 70s. I'm like, we're in 2025. And it's like internally you're stuck in an era that you feel was the best or the greatest for you. And you haven't evolved or moved anything from that. And when he goes to try to explain how he feels, he can't understand or see anything. Because he just thinks that is dribble. He thinks that is garbage. He lacks a type of understanding. And again, this is somebody who had to read scripts for a living. So you should be able to read in between the lines, and especially being a minority. I thought, black and brown coalition. I thought, that was a thing, but obviously not, because this actor just wanted to come out of nowhere and just call obviously black people ghetto, because there was no other people or persons on the stage other than black people during that halftime show. It was Kendrick, black. All the dancers directly up there, black. People waving the flags in the background, black. So I'm a little bit confused. And then he wanted to, in a sense, for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to be real. He called Samuel L. Jackson a monkey. I'm just going to be real. That came directly out of his mouth. The way that he phrased it, he was like, and he's disappointed in Samuel L. Jackson just up there monkeying around. Yeah, you should have just said it. You should have just said it. Like, this has racism just planted all over it. And then he tried to really cover it up by saying that, oh, if you wanted to go, black, give me the arts, give me jazz, give me this, give me that. You're saying that you want black people to give you something that makes you feel comfortable, something that you don't really have to think about, something you can just close your eyes to, and that's it. You don't got to worry about today. You don't got to worry about tomorrow. You don't got to focus on any type of oppression or systematic oppression. You don't got to, focus on anything political, just something to lull you to sleep. Nothing that's directly in your face or forces you to think. And that's the main problem that I happen to notice with a lot of the MAGAs directly out there that are burning up at the seams, going directly from Fox News to Facebook and X and all these other places. And all of them are giving their dislike for why it is that they didn't like the halftime performance and why it is that they would have rather seen something else. You think that it's ratchet, you think that it's ghetto and all of this. And then he wanted to make it seem like he actually cared about black kids. Lift these kids off the streets. Let's lift these kids off the streets. I've never seen somebody try to work so hard to be with it and hip ever in my life and to really show that they care up until this moment. And that's crazy to me. And this is how it sounds coming from a lot of other people who always try to judge black content and not even have a full-fledged understanding, or don't even want to go in depth enough in order to try to find a type of understanding. But like I said before, and again, I didn't even really want to talk about the halftime show because I have my feelings directly on it and about it, and directly about the different songs that could have been used or played. But yeah, here we are at this place where I have to talk about it. And I don't even want to be here. I would rather actually be talking about a whole bunch of different stuff or be doing other videos. But here we are. But let's continue. And this one is hilarious.
Tell me that this was just me. You can't tell me that that was not the worst halftime at a Super Bowl, hands down, ever. I mean, you can't. I mean, Kendrick who? Kendrick what? I mean, that was just like, that was embarrassing. That was just like, I don't know. There was no charisma. There was no this incredible performance of dance moves. I mean, just stood there and rapped, and the people around him were taking tiptoes and steps forward. I mean, think about Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Michael Jackson, the all-time best performance at a Super Bowl ever. And then, I don't know what this was. Kendrick Lamar, I have to tell you, this is not going to be good for your career. I mean, the music didn't even sound right. Even I don't know if was the beat off, was the tempo off? I mean, I don't know what it was, but I got to tell you that I would have rather have Donald Trump come on to the middle of the stage and do the YMCA with the village people? Now that, my friend, would have been hands down the best halftime Super Bowl ever. Donald Trump in the middle with the village people. YMCA, da 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 da, YMCA. I even think it would be so good that Taylor Swift would have got up and danced. Da 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 da, yada yada yada, da 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 da. And that's all I gotta say about that. Midnight, I am out. Da, ya, da, da. Ya, da, 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 da.
You know, I grow to learn as I grow older and older in age is that a lot of people happen to laugh when they're crying directly inside. A shout out and much love and appreciation to whoever just subscribed to the channel. Much love. Um, that in order to cover up the pain and the hurt that people are going through in their confusion, people tend to laugh directly through it, especially when they're stupid. People tend to laugh even more because they don't understand either symbolism, they don't understand certain types of parallels, or they don't understand the obvious context, right? I don't even feel like breaking this down. I really don't. Because the one thing I hate doing is that I'm just going to say this right now. For a lot of black people that's on TikTok that are spending their time breaking down these videos, I get and I understand that is going to gather and garner views specifically for you because that's what you want. But the main thing at the end of the day that I start seeing is that I see other people that are not you that are doing these quote unquote breakdowns. And I'm pretty sure that they didn't just pull this from out of thin air because they really understand black people, the culture, and the music. They got all of this information from you. And now they're going to regurgitate it on their platforms and they're going to give it to their people to quote unquote enlighten them when realistically they got it from a source, which is not going to receive any type of credit or anything like that. And a lot of these people who are going online and they're asking, like, I don't even understand, what does this all mean? They're waiting for black people to literally explain it to them. And it gets to a point in time where black people need to just step down and stand back and not explain anything. That's all I'm saying. Black people need to stop explaining what messages mean to those who obviously don't really care. Because even when you give them the information, you give them the specific breakdown, they'll still act like, well, that really wasn't a message. It didn't make any type of sense. It holds no real type of weight. It's not doing this, it's not doing that. And then when you say that, oh, this was specifically to detail and to talk about what it is to be black and yada, 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 and all this other type of stuff, then people are like, well, why do these messages have to be about black? Why can't it be about all? Why does it have to be so divisive? This is what's the problem with a lot of the music today. It wants to be separatist and it doesn't want to be, cohesive and a collective. It doesn't want to gather everybody and yada, yada, yada. And then we come down and we have idiots like this who are smiling in a screen in a hotel room with sunglasses on at night, which makes no sense. It literally makes no type of sense. And then he wanted to say that he didn't like Kendrick's performance, but then he wanted to put Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Eminem directly up there. You do realize that those rappers, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and I think 50 was also there too. You do realize that none of those people were dancing at all, right? They weren't really doing anything at all. It's not like they were Chris Brown, where this dude is going to be like dancing, flipping across the stage, flying, directly through the air and all of this and singing. It's not like they're going to be doing any of that because they can't, because that's not the type of performer that they are. So to complain that Kendrick just came out and he stood there while everybody else is doing the choreography, that's what he's supposed to do. He's not a dancer. He is a rapper. It's just, I'm a little bit confused. Do we not, like, case in point, go into singing? When you look at Adele, she stands there and she sings. She'll, maybe move her body a little bit to and from, maybe might even do a little two-step, but she's pretty much stationary. But do you hear people complaining about that? Even if there is choreography going on or all this? No, they're not, because they're paying attention to the artist. They're listening to the artist. But when it deals with a black artist that's trying to well, not even trying to, that's delivering a message, giving a message directly out, not just by the voice or the words, but also by the music, by also the breaks, by also the choreography, by also the color that the dancers are wearing, and not even to mention the stage that they even put together from beginning to end. And like I said, this is just doing some surface level type stuff, not even going directly in depth. But even with giving all of that stuff there, people will still be like, yeah, this wasn't it. This was mid. This was that. This was, I'm like, Jesus, just say that you just want music that's going to lull you to sleep. Just say that you want music that's going to keep you stupid. Just say that. Just say that you don't like to think. Because that's the main thing that I keep hearing time and time and time again. Time and time again. And then for him to sit up there and say, like, this is going to be the biggest, it's not going to be good for your career, yada, 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 all this. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Who are you at this moment in time? Are you even of the music industry? Does anybody even know who you are? Last time I checked, Kendrick, he won like 5 Grammys, right? 5 Grammys. 5. And I'm like, who are you? You sit up here in the hotel room in the dark with the lights on, deciding that you want to record a video with sunglasses on by yourself, and you're supposed to be this who? Like I said, nobody even knows who this guy is. Crazy work, though. Diabolical. But let's continue. It gets better.
Was it me, or was that Kendrick Lamar performance mid? Now, I am a hater. I'll admit that. But the performance was actually mid. Let me tell you why. First of all, the performance was way too quick. They said he finished with 8 minutes and 35 seconds left. Come on, man. Couple classics he should have played that he did not play. The choreography was solid, though. I give you that. I did like the choreography. He could have brought out some different artists. He brought out SZA for 2 seconds and Samuel L. Jackson and Serena Williams. What the hell are you doing, brother? And half the songs he sang was during the Drake beef. So you telling me we got this artist who won 5 Grammys, and the bulk of his performance was songs that were created during the Drake beef. I'm not saying he's not a great artist. I'm not saying he doesn't have a great body of work. But look like y'all hyped that man. And I would have rather seen Lil Wayne in New Orleans. Would have been a way better show. And y'all know Drake would have had a better show. And I'm speaking all facts.
So I'm trying to look at this moment in time to see if he had any more time for the halftime show. And I can't really pull anything at this moment in time just off of surface level. As I'm looking at this current moment in time, can't really pull anything. But I will say, if Kendrick did have about a good 8 minutes left to pretty much do some other stuff, I would have loved it if he would have did that. Because there were a plethora of other songs that I have directly on my Spotify that I've listened to over the years quite religiously. And I'm like, yo, I thought I was going to hear, potentially some of those. But like I said before, I don't know. That's pretty much up in the air. And that's just his specific opinion when it's dealing with the 8 minutes and whatever seconds that he said that Kendrick, had left in order to perform. I will say it did seem pretty quick. Because it seems as though that other people, when they performed before, that it seemed longer, seemed like they did, or put a lot more songs directly in there. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if he had more time or not, but it was pretty quick. I will say that it does have that feeling completely there. Samuel L. Jackson being there, I actually liked it. I didn't have any type of problems and or issue. It was showing you the back and forth. Samuel L. Jackson, aka Uncle Sam, even though I said that I shouldn't be explaining anything, I find myself still doing it. Uncle Sam, and then you have Kendrick Lamar. Going back to the previous video that we just had with the actor, whatever his name was, he was saying ghetto, 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 right? And if you go back and listen to Samuel L. Jackson, he was saying the same thing to Kendrick. He was like, yo, you got to play by the rules, play by the game. Everything will be fine and dandy. Just don't be ghetto, right? And then you would have those breaks and different songs and having the lyrics basically speak. Like I said, there's a lot of things within there. And it's also explaining to people how if you're black in America, you have to play a certain type of way in order to win, right? So, case in point, if I take you guys right back to this guy here.
Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was
so, right, you see this guy here, right? This is a black conservative. So, if you technically think about Samuel Jackson's role, you would, in a sense, think about this guy. He's going to play it clean cut. He's going to be very conservative. He's going to do everything that the main majority is doing so that he can make it, so that he can pass by, so that he can get and do the things that he wants to sit up there and do. He's not going to do anything to quote unquote go against the grain. And this is why you have him and a few others directly up there that want to show their ultra conservative points of views when it is that they want to speak on Kendrick Lamar and his performance. Because one of the main things that this guy wanted to make sure to state is that the bliggity, bliggity, blackity, blackity, black, right? That's letting you know whenever you hear that from somebody like him, that he's not about anything that details black people uplifting, empowering, supporting, loving, respecting, and valuing themselves. He is not for the black community at all, no matter how much he may want to speak from the status of which he is at. Last time, I'm not even sure. I'm just going to sit up there and guess. I have to go to the Brother Umar extent, and I feel that he's a bunny hopper. I'm just going to have to put it directly right there. Sometimes people have looks. I just have to put it directly out there. That's just the feeling that I directly get. And especially from a lot of the content that this guy has put out over the years, I feel like that's the case. And also looking at the people that he decides to hang around with. Again, it looks that way. But as I've stated before, usually when you have people like this, they're not in support of black people trying to empower themselves. Right. They're more for the whole thing of like, yeah, black people, y'all need to integrate because you guys are ghetto. You guys are uneducated. And in order for you guys to undo all of that, you need to be right here side by side with the white folks so they can teach you. That's the type of guy that he is. 100%. I can promise you that if there was a time that the Black Panther Party, if you were to time travel and put him back in those times, he would not be with the Black Panther Party. He would be one of the ones trying to dismantle and break it down from the inside out. He would be one of the ones trying to covertly act like he is fighting the power, that he's with the Black Panthers, but secretly he's with the CIA and the FBI, divulging information, giving them floor plans and telling them this and telling them that, while taking a cut directly from the government from all the information that he's given out. That's the type of person that he is. And these are the main types of people that the black community should really much side eye and pay very close attention to, because a lot of instances, the enemies that you have are the closest directly to you. And in some extents, they look just like you, like this guy. But let's continue.
Lamar's undefeated streak finally comes to an end with an absolute bomb of a show at the Super Bowl, let's be honest. Maybe you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, maybe you like some of those songs. It wasn't necessarily a bad performance, it is not a Super Bowl performance. And this has always been the problem with the Kendrick Lamar selection for the Super Bowl. He does not have the catalog to perform a show of this level. On top of that, I thought it was going to be the type of show where half of America who's never heard of Kendrick Lamar walks away saying, I don't know that music, but that guy was a hell of a performer. And didn't even do that. I mean, we're talking about a show where, Lady Gaga jumps off the fucking roof. Kendrick Lamar comes out the PlayStation controller. Samuel L. Jackson is the big surprise with Serena Williams crip walking. Like, it's just, none of this is on the level of Usher, Rihanna, people with like 20 number one hits where you're trying to guess, are they going to open with this song or finish with this song? What's your favorite song? No, that's my favorite song. This dude had one song that people were waiting for. When you choose the artsy, in-depth, musical, perspective, emotional guy, that's what you're going to get. And ironically, if you're going to pick a rapper that is on that level for the Super Bowl, there's only one guy to do it. And don't get me wrong, Drake got his fucking teeth kicked in by this guy for a year straight, but this stage is just simply too big of a moment for him. And it's not even necessarily a knock, it's that you have to have a catalog that can perform for 150 million people of all ages and races, and there's only a few people that can do that. He just doesn't have it. And the worst part was the way he was teasing Not Like Us. Like, we know that's what the audience wants. We can't give it to you right away. It felt like a one-hit wonder band where the audience is like, do the thing. Do the song we want. The Super Bowl performance needs to have so many hits that you don't even care which one it is. You want all of them. Now, this doesn't erase the beef. It doesn't take the W away from Kendrick. It doesn't take the L away from Drake. It doesn't mean that Drake has not mortified and embarrassed himself for a year straight, taking L after L after L. But you are lying if you would tell me that Drake would not put on a show that was 50 times more memorable and enjoyable and catchy and appropriate for the Super Bowl stage.
Okay. So he wanted to bring up Drake, and Soulja Boy said Drake. So this is the thing, right? The beef has elevated a lot of things, and it's pushed a lot of things directly to the forefront. One of the main issues that I have at this moment in time is that Not Like Us is a good song, but in comparison to the other songs that, for me, that I love, that Kendrick has, that I feel have a lot more meaning and depth directly to it, and that easily has reached, other people. I'm talking about in the Black community. I feel like this song will dominate all the other songs that he has ever done. And the main thing that's going to happen is that when people think about Kendrick Lamar, the only song that people are going to think about is Not Like Us. And I'm like, that's crazy work. Because he has great songs. He has tremendous great songs. And some songs that are very much underrated that a lot of people have probably never even played once. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's going to be, for me, I'm like, that's a disservice. And that's why, for me, I stated that I wish that he would have put a lot of the other songs that he's had over the years, beyond and before this beef, on display, that a lot of people loved, that a lot of people were able to feel in a multitude of different ways, that people were literally trying to decipher and, figure out the meanings of this and that. And when it came to a lot of those songs, even though the song had its own, or those songs had their own initial messages, right? People were doing their own type of deep dive into it to figure out the message that was specific to them, that they felt was coming, from that song, right? Like I said, maybe I'm looking at it in a way, or trying to make it a little bit more complex than what it is. I don't know. But again, for me, that's the way that I just so happen to see it. I probably didn't explain it the way that I have it in my mind at this moment in time, which tends to happen. But I just wish that there was other songs. I really, really do. I don't want everybody to come through and look at his name and his career and be like, oh, that's the Not Like Us guy. Because I promise you, give it a few generations, that's what's going to happen with the newer generations coming up. They'll be like, oh, that's the Kendrick Lamar, that's the Not Like Us guy. Yeah, my parents told me about him. They told me about the song and everything. So I'm like, your parents didn't teach you know the songs? Nope, Not Like Us. And that's it. And that is it. And I've seen stuff like this happen. I'll put it to you like this. To a whole nother part of music, right? There's a lead singer of a group called Panic at the Disco. And the lead singer hates performing one main song that everybody always asks the band to perform every single time, no matter where they are around the world, even though they have other songs which are pretty great, pretty cool to listen to. Everybody's like, play Close the Door. That's not really the title of the song, but if you type in Panic at the Disco and Closing the Door, you'll pretty much get the song that I'm referring to. And when you look at him, somebody specifically made a compilation of this guy playing the song from when they first came out all the way up until the recent years. And the way that he sings the song of today, he does not care. He's like, he is tired of it. he wants that song to be done. And there's other bands that feel the exact same way about certain songs. And a lot of people are like, well, that's the song that made you. That's the song, this, that, and the third. And the artist is like, yeah, that can be factual or true, but also at the same time, we got like 30 to 40 to 50 other songs. And I'm like, it's crazy to just look at an artist and you're pretty much just saying like, this is your career. Keep doing the song. We'll love you. If you don't want to do the song, you decide to do all of these other songs that we don't care about. Guess what? We're going to hate you. We're not going to consider you the greatest, all this other type of stuff. Because the craziest thing is, even though I would sit up there and say that Kendrick is a great artist, he is a great rapper. I love the work that him and J. Cole were doing at a moment in time. I'm still, waiting for something to come out, but I'm pretty sure due to the beef and everything that took place, that's never going to happen at this moment in time. There was a lot of great work directly there. And again, that's stuff that people weren't going to specifically go back and listen to and try to pull information, to and from. People pretty much amped up the whole beef where it was like, hey, Drake is on side Black America, and obviously, I'm sorry, Kendrick is on side Black America, and Drake is on side, over there. And everybody's like, okay, well, we're going to stand on Kendrick's side, and that's it. And I'm like, this is not going to fare too well for anybody. It's just going to be losses on all sides, realistically, because the only thing that people are going to look forward to is for Kendrick to keep coming out with songs that are close or similar to this, or they're going to be waiting for another diss track. And again, it's going to be problematic because Kendrick was great before he was even, the diss was even highlighted. But again, nobody was trying to say that. Nobody was trying to say that Kendrick is a great artist and da 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 da. Everybody was like, oh yeah. As soon as he came out with like Not Like Us, the whole world jumped on. And they're like, yeah, he's the greatest artist of all time. This is the greatest song of all time. Yada yada yada. I'm like, that's it. That's all you got. Just this one song, not none of the other songs. Or okay, that's where we are. So we're going to have to see, guys, because the world has basically piled on and made this, in a sense, the greatest song of all time and one of the most watched Super Bowls of all time. Now the hard part is going to be for Kendrick to bring out something that is going to top this song. And I want people to realize and understand, no matter how great of an artist that you are, it is very hard to do that. It is very, very hard. There's only so few artists who have been able to do that, one of which is Michael Jackson. And he was doing that consistently with albums, like back and forth. Like he was just stopping one after another, after another. But to be a rapper and to do that, and especially be on this type of stage, that's incredible. That is a Herculean task to have to do. And what's going to happen if Kendrick is not able to do this? The same people who quote unquote say that he's great now, the same people that are celebrating him now, the same people that love him now and that are trying to put him on this pedestal are going to be the same ones to push him to the wayside. They're going to be the same ones later on social media that's going to be like, Kendrick this, yeah, he was great here, but I don't know what happened. Like he really fell off. Nah, he never fell off. It was the fact that a lot of y'all just wasn't paying attention. Y'all wanted to hype up something because you felt that it was specifically geared towards you, and you wanted to go in with everybody else in the culture. And now, when everything is removed from that whole time period, and now you got to listen to other, types of things that he's saying, guess what? It's going to be dead silent. Like I said, what was one of the albums that he had, Mr. Morales? If I have that correct, let me make sure, because I don't want to get this incorrect. Yeah, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The same way that people are hyping up Not Like Us, I didn't hear people really hyping up fields of songs on that record like that, and really out there in the streets. nor did I hear the whole world sitting up there singing any of those songs from the album. That's not to sit up there and say that that wasn't a good album. Again, it's going to match up with certain people. It ain't gonna match up with everybody. Just like with Jay-Z, 444. I thought it was technically a pretty good album for me because of how everything was, in a sense, laid bare, and it was more so introspective, dealing with the lyrics and different things that he did wrong, different types of mistakes, and him trying to, in a sense, him talking as an older person, him talking to his younger self, at least from what I got from it. But within that, him as an older black man trying to educate the younger black man out here and be like, yo, these are the mistakes that I made along the way. Here is basically, in a sense, the blueprint, which is another album that he, came out with long ago. Here's the blueprint on how to not make those same mistakes so that you can, try to make it up to where I am at this moment in time. Right. That's what I, in a sense, got from the 444, album. And I was listening to that, playing that directly at work continuously. And a lot of other black people was not feeling the album. They were like, it was whack. It really wasn't it. Jay-Z fell off, yada, yada, yada. This was the exact same thing that I heard people saying with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The exact same thing. And I'm like, it's crazy work. And, like I said before, how it tends to work as a collective is that everybody will genuinely love an artist because everybody else loves an artist. This is how you have, followers. This is how you have people follow the leader and all of those good types of things. The blind leading the blind. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. But let's continue.
Thoughts on the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. We're about to watch it again to make sure we didn't miss anything, because obviously we had people around us, all this stuff, but I don't feel like it hit the mark the way that they wanted it to. Because everybody's saying he's trying to make a statement. Well, why don't you make that statement more obvious? Because there are things that people are talking about, oh my God, he called out Drake. Honey, he already called out Drake. We already knew he thought, and he is saying that Drake is a pedo. We already knew that. And I get that he is trying to make other statements too, but they are not obvious. And if we have learned anything from the last presidential election, we need to make things plain as day. People how Trump talks about I'm gonna make things great, I'm gonna make them great. They plain ass words. Nobody is gonna be over here Googling the lyrics if they're the people we
hold on. Let me just pull this back real quick. Let me go back up. Jerome said Drake stands always got a new angle. Well, who are you talking to? Jerome, who specifically, who are you talking to at this moment in time? Just let me know, because this is a live stream. So this is me clearly responding directly to what you wrote. Just let me know. Because I'm waiting for this one. Because I want to sit up there and see this, because I'm like, this is some crazy work directly out here. And like I said, I love a variety of artists directly out here. Listen to a variety of music. So I can tend to speak on and talk about a variety of things there. Billie Jean said he only had a 13-minute limit, which is how long he performed. How did he leave 8 minutes left? Like I said, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, who said that? Joystick said, no, it wasn't. What was it? Yeah, Joystick said Jerome report to the principal's office. Yeah, because I'm waiting to see who this character is. I don't know if you're using voice to text or how you sitting up there working, but it don't take that long to respond. Cause that's some crazy work. How people want to just roll up and just be like, obviously since people are saying this or that, gotta obviously be Drake fans. Crazy work out here. And like I said, this is what I'll be talking about. It's like the moment of time that you happen to specifically ask people, who are they specifically talking to or talking about, they don't tend to respond. They tend to, just stay silent in the comment section, even though I can clearly see that you made a comment. Crazy work. Anyways, let's continue.
We actually want to hear this message. Like the people who are going to be out here Googling the lyrics, listening to TikToks that explain the lyrics, that talk about what's actually happening and what message he was portraying, or the people that already know what's going on. It's not actually making an impact. It's literally just talking to the people who are already aware that something needs to change. The people who don't know there needs to be a change and who needs to hear like, oh my God, there's something going on, listen to this, they're not going to Google shit. My husband talked about a reference to Les Miserables, if you've seen that, where in the French Revolution, in the beginning of the movie, a lot of people died because they didn't know what was going on. They didn't even know that a revolution was happening, and they died. So if we're at the point that he's like trying to say, like, this is a revolution, we need to all stand up, why does it need to be something that people need to decipher? That people need to Google, people need to TikTok, people need to look. No, it needs to be a clear ass message. And if that was what it was supposed to be, it wasn't. Because maybe I am stupid, but I don't feel like I'm a stupid person. And I was sitting around going, what's supposed to be going on right now? Like, because I knew there was supposed to be some type of message coming at me, but it was not clear. So what I'm trying to say is, if we're trying to make messages clear, and we're trying to make messages clear for the people who need to actually see them, we need to be crystal clear. We need to bring it down a notch and talk about how we make shit great again.
So I just want to let y'all know I didn't watch her full video before I happened to post it, but now it makes sense why she said what it is that she said. We need to do something to make such and such great again. That's why you didn't understand the message, because it wasn't for you. It was not for you at all. You're either Caucasian or you're white passing. It's either one or the two, and I'm going to pick both, so I'm right either which way it goes. We don't flip coins out here. So as you can clearly see, right, this person, even though she said she thinks she's stupid, which she is, but she said that she's not stupid, which again, she needs to revert back to the default setting of being stupid. She clearly couldn't understand. Right. And then she wanted to make this comparison. But La Miserables. And, when there was a message that was supposed to be heard and a lot of people, ended up perishing because they couldn't decipher the message. The message, it needs to be plain and out there and simple. And what I realized is that there's a lot of messaging that is present to everybody, and it's directly written on a wall. And it's as plain as all get out. And people still don't understand it. People are like, what does this mean? Like, case in point, the terminology woke, right? If you are to ask any of the conservative folks out there that love to sit up there, whoa, it's even to the point where those in America have those in South Africa saying woke. And again, this is not anything of their lingo. That's not how they explain. That's not how they talk. That's not even a part of their vocabulary at all. And you have them over there in South Africa talking about the woke mind virus. And I want to explain to people that just because you can put something in plain sight doesn't mean that there's an actual explanation to it, like that right there, like how the conservatives tend to want to use it and the reasons why they just so happen to use it. Yeah. And the other thing is looking at it like this, right? How it is that conservatives have used the terminology woke in order to vilify and to water down the meaning of that word is the exact same way that I feel about Not Like Us. At the point in time when the song first came out, it was like, yo, this is dope, this is cool. And then as time went on, I'm sitting up there looking at people in India singing Not Like Us. I'm looking at people in Africa singing Not Like Us. I'm looking at people in Australia singing Not Like Us. And I'm like, the song has a clear-cut message. Clear-cut message, clear-cut meaning. And even with that message and that meeting, the people that are quote unquote not like us are just out there singing a song. Why? Because they're just looking at the surface level. They're not even trying to analyze, even on the surface level, they're not even trying to analyze the lyrics. They're dancing and jamming to it because, number one, in their mind, they're like, okay, the beat is catchy. I can sit up there and dance. I can sit up there and two-step. Oh, it's something simple I can catch on to. Not like us, not like us. And a couple of other things that they could just simply say they don't really got to memorize. They just know when the beat hits, bam, I say this, this, and this, and I dance, dance, dance. That's it. And then last but not least, also, they're like, oh, this song has to do with going against Drake. So very easily, again, it is going to sit up there and spin. It's going to sit up there and move. It's going to be all over the place. And people are going to sit up there and dance it because they specifically only think that the song is dealing with Drake. And that is the end all to be all to it, without even trying to take a step further and understand that this is literally talking about everybody else that is not Black American. And that is another reason why I have an issue with the song, because it's been so far diluted, and the message, in a sense, for me, I'm just saying, for me, has in a sense been lost due to the fact or the gravity of the situation of the rest of the world literally singing it. I'm like, you're singing and taking pride in a song that is literally talking about you, because you're not Black American. You are not like us. It's literally talking about other people who are also culture vulturing, that are trying to masquerade, that's trying to fit in as if they are Black American, but we realistically know, and they know, that they're not. Like, I'm a little bit confused on how people didn't understand this. And then you still got people singing this who are different still to this day. And you know, the other killing part about this is, and I'm gonna, touch on no pun intended. I'm gonna touch on this fact here, right? So one of the main reasons that a lot of people love the song is because it had to do with the rap battle, right? Drake and all those things, right? And more so specifically because Kendrick was calling out Drake, correct? Right? A minor, which is out of the whole song, that's the whole world's favorite part. Everybody knows when to stop and to just sing A minor, right? You even heard it at the Super Bowl. And I was waiting for it because I knew that out of all of the words that could ever be in that song, everybody knew that part, including the white folks. And lo and behold, I was correct. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to whoever just subscribed to the platform. Much love. And you heard it. You heard everybody basically sing it. The other things that I don't think that people actually paid attention to, even though people tried to say or however it was described, you had Kendrick Lamar wearing the lowercase a chain, and you had somebody in the background actually before the Super Bowl performance actually happened, which for whatever reason a lot of people didn't get a snapshot of, but you saw the flag flying around. You had the lowercase a, it was seems to be two minors reaching up for that a, right? So there were those things directly there, and people were like, I'm anti-Drake, I'm against this, I'm against that, so I'm going to sit up there and do that, right? But the other thing that I thought about, I'm like, okay, well, if you're pointing out an issue, right? If this song is to point out an issue that's, highly problematic and it's something that needs to get fixed, cool, fine, no problem. But if this is an actual problem that people are actually caring about, why would we have, in a sense, a song like this where everybody is just dancing happily and, in a sense, celebrating? Can anybody understand or get where it is that I'm going with this? Because maybe it's just me that seems that it's a little bit weird to an extent to have a song that's talking about something that's very highly problematic, right? Or to highlight it. And you're specifically talking about an individual. You're not talking about nobody else. You're talking about one individual. And you're highlighting that issue. And the whole world is just sitting up there like dancing, gleeing. They're cheerful. They're snapping, they're clapping directly to this song, when this is supposed to be, in a sense, a serious topic. Like I said, maybe it's just me because I've covered these topics before, and I just look at that as being a little bit weird. And then seeing everybody's favorite part is A minor, and I'm like, but is this not a real issue that we're supposed to be trying to fix? Because everybody states that whenever Kendrick pops up and he's doing a song, he's talking about real issues, he's pointing out stuff, he's trying to highlight stuff. But it's like when it deals with this song, people are like, oh no, he's not really trying to, go that far in depth. It's it's just a song. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, what happened? Shadow said his chain had nothing to do with it. Well, this is what I'm going to say to you, Shadow. This is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. You got the lowercase, and then you also have that directly on the flag. And if you go back and I gotta hold on, let me see that. Hold on, let me hold on. Let me just go back real quick. Hold on. The angry Regan, he said, no one cares, bro. Do you think we listen to your music for your wisdom? I can barely understand what rappers be saying. What is that supposed to be? Saying I guess that was supposed to be when they talk. I don't care about what's being said. And that's the problem with a lot of people. That's the problem with a lot of people. Yeah, I saw somebody explain that. And I saw somebody explain that that's what the flag specifically was. I'm just simply saying that I never saw that flag or that chain at any other point in time during his career up until this time during this song and his rap beef. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's just a very odd coincidence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That like I said, that is all I'm saying. You said Kendrick going to be remembered as the person who dissed Drake. He made the biggest performance about Drake. I heard a lot of other people say that as well. Oh, and the other point, because I got sidetracked. The other point that I wanted to bring up is the fact that when I'll put it to you like this for Shadow, right? So, okay, let's take away the lowercase a that Kendrick Lamar was wearing. Let's take away the lowercase a off of the flag that they were, waving back and forth with two minors reaching up for the lowercase a. Let's take all of that out of the equation, right? And let's just focus on the song. If you think about the music entertainment industry and what people have said about celebrities, what is the main thing that they've said? They've talked about, all types of movements. I got to word this differently because of YouTube sensitivity. They talked about how, people are able to be moved, from one place to another. And a lot of these individuals are not of age, right? So to look at the Grammys, and I'm looking at a lot of these celebrities who are part of this industry and who have been said to be a part of a lot of things, being of the occult and different things of that nature. The occult is something I may touch on in another live stream once I get the camera set up. And hearing some of that stuff that is going on, to see them in a sense grooving and dancing to the song, I'm like, that's a little bit different. I'm like, because everybody in that room has been to some parties. Everybody in that room has been with, some people that they should not have been with. And I know that there were some men in that room specifically, history-wise, where they were, with girls who were a lot younger than them while they were in their 20s. If anybody, knows exactly who it is that I'm talking about, you actually know it is, one of the biggest names directly out there. Even the young woman during her her time being in a group, every now and again slipped up and spoke about the relationship. And I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you about like 16 or 17? And isn't this guy like in his 20s, like 26 or something like that? I'm like, you're high school, like what's going on here? How is this even, but people don't want to pay attention. People don't want to pay attention. 1983. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's one of the people I'm talking about too. And I'm like, weren't you dating somebody when they were younger? And then didn't you do this again previously before her as well? I'm like, and I'm like, y'all, and I'm like, it's real crazy seeing the music entertainment industry hyping this song up, knowing the fact of what the music entertainment industry is about. Case in point, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or believe me, look at groups like B2K. Look at groups like Day 26, or just the entertainment industry in general. Look at Orlando Brown. Look at a lot of these Disney stars and listen to a lot of their stories. Matter of fact, go back and look at the stories or the documentary about Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider. If people don't understand what it is that I'm specifically talking about. And I'm looking at all of these people, like, and this is why I said, and again, this is not to sit up there and try to discredit Kendrick Lamar. This is not me trying to say that he is not a great artist. He is. He got great wordplay, all of that. All I'm sitting up there stating is that it's a little bit, I don't want to say ironic. Maybe that might be the correct word, but it's a little bit weird to see the music industry hyping up a song that is condemning somebody that they're allegedly saying is doing all of these things, while at the same time the music industry is built on top of this. This is what they do consistently every day, all day. That's all I'm sitting up there saying. And then the same music industry is pushing this song to the point where the whole world is singing it. Nobody finds that to be a little bit weird. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I just, just because case in point, at the Super Bowl party, they had Tyga, who is a rapper, at the Super Bowl party. And if anybody in the comment section has, heard or done any research directly on Tyga, there's been some alleged things directly there. And when you see him, listening to the song, you see him moving like a little bit, right? You see him rocking to the beat a little bit. And then when it gets to the part of saying, A minor, he kind of freezes. He stops real quick as if he don't know if he should be like still vibing to this or if he should feel a certain type of way about this. And then the only expression that he gives, he's like, oh, wow. So like I said before, like I said before, for me, how I'm sitting up there looking at this whole thing is that it's just very weird in a sense, right? Because you got a multitude of different things that people can read directly out of this song. And the only thing that people are taking directly from the song is just the part dealing with Drake. That's the only part that people remember. That's the only part that people highlight. That's the only part that people remember. That's the only part that gets talked about. That's the only part that people sing around the world. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy work. So now Kendrick gotta, come up with something else. Yeah, Shadow, yeah. You said Tiger went live during the whole thing. Yep. Andy said the whole industry. Hey, it be like that. Let me see what else we got. Yeah. Kendrick's performance was the most viewed in NFL history. Yeah, it was. I think they said it even topped Michael Jackson's, and that's hard to do. Like his has been up there for the longest time possible, and this is the one that ended up, topping that. Not even the great Taylor Swift. Did Taylor Swift even perform at the Super Bowl before? I'm not even sure. I just happened to mention her because I know she's with Travis Kelce. So that's what immediately came to mind when I sat up there and said that. But yeah, I don't even think Taylor Swift would have been able to, pull off these numbers. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be honest. And, the craziest part is, you have a lot of people that are saying like this is the worst performance. You can't say that it's the worst if it's the most viewed. If it was the worst, then people would have just cut off. People just would have turned off their televisions. They wouldn't even had continued watching the game at all. At all. Realistically, if you want to say something was the worst, it would be the performance that took place on the field during the NFL. That whole game was terrible. It was in shambles. I don't even know what was happening. Clearly, I know what was happening, but it just didn't make any sense. But as one of the guys that I have a recording of, he said that there's going to be a slight upset that was going to happen during the fourth quarter, where you're going to have the Chiefs that were going to end up scoring, but the Eagles are still going to end up winning. And pretty much what he stated lined up with what took place. They did end up scoring. They got some numbers directly on the board, but at the end of the day, they still ended up losing. But the main thing I happen to tell a lot of people directly out there is that when it deals with sports, that a lot of these things are scripted. But no. You're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying, or unless you like respond to somebody else. For me, I'm not saying that the whole song was about Drake. I'm saying that those are because of the height of the beef and the song and the parts in the song. That's the main thing that people are going to just remember. Those are the things that people are going to happen to talk about. People aren't going to sit up there and say that Not Like Us is the greatest song because it represents Black Americans. They're going to be like, it's the greatest song because it was the greatest diss to ever exist on a world stage. That's what people are going to sit up there and say. But I'm just saying. Oh, we got Tippy in the building. What is up, Tippy? You're technically on time at this moment. I am proud of you, Tippy. I am so proud. Currently at this moment in time, we have, I think the numbers are a bit fudged at this moment. It says overall we got 255, at least from my count. But when I look at the live numbers, it says 123 on the second and then 12 on the first channel. So I'm a little bit, the math ain't math. I'm just math is not mathing right now. Just gonna be real. The math is not mathing. Okay, y'all said y'all were talking to Kenji. Okay, yeah. My bad. I ain't know. Because some of the comments I can't see because everything is rolling through in a sense all at once, and things keep moving when when I'm trying to read some comments here. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, you said Ray said Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance was at 133.5 million views, dethroning Michael Jackson's longstanding record of 133.4 million views in 1993. That's crazy to sit up there and think that record has been standing since 1993. That's a long time. That is a long time for that to get dethroned. That's a long time. Long time. Let me see. But what was the other thing I was going to sit there and say? Because one person didn't roll through and respond. Matter of fact, let me go back to what I was stating to you guys before about the terminology. What I was speaking on before when it dealt with woke. Let me just do that because I don't want to lose track of that. And just in case we got people out here that might be a little bit deaf in the back. Might as well just put that up there.
It's a super divisive word, but most people who are anti-woke can't even define the word and don't know where it came from. So let's get smarter in seconds about woke together. The word woke, or the phrase stay woke, come from Black American English or Ebonics. Woke is an adjective that describes being aware of the reality of racial oppression and other social justice issues. Woke is really not a bad thing unless you have some insidious reason for not wanting people to be aware of oppression. The word woke was first recorded back in 1938 by Black American musician Huddy Leadbelly Ledbetter. He said,
I advise everybody to be a little careful when they go along through do that, but stay woke, keep the eyes open.
70 years later, in 2008, Stay Woke remained part of the Black American vocabulary. It was used in a song called Master Teacher by Erykah Badu and writer Georgia Ann Muldrow. Stay Woke was eventually popularized by Black social media users, particularly Black Twitter, as a rallying cry against anti-Black police violence. But then, in yet another demonstration of the Black community not being able to have anything nice, the phrase was co-opted by racists. Today, woke is used as a code word for anyone who is Black, young, socially conscious, educated, or just against oppression, just like DEI and critical race theory. The rampant misuse of these terms just demonstrates a lack of understanding, or in other cases, a blatant hatred for social progress and Black people. While there are many people who are very upset at the social consciousness that the word woke represents, one has to wonder why they're so upset with us for knowing what racism is, teaching about it, and fighting against it. It's almost like they're on the racism side, but I wouldn't say that.
So we heard from that beautiful woman who stated what the definition, what the meaning of woke is, and how long it has been in existence, specifically when it pertains to Black Americans, and how it is that we have used it, and also how it has been demonized and how it has been co-opted and stolen and used for many other purposes to represent something else. And this is what I happened to say before. When it deals with a lot of people who are quote unquote MAGA this and MAGA that and conservative, yada, 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 when you ask them for the definition of woke, they could never give you all this information. They could never give you all this information, which is the craziest part, because you could easily just do some Google searching. You can easily just look some stuff up, because everybody has a supercomputer, aka a Android or an iPhone, directly in their hands, in their pockets, or wherever, and they can just look this stuff up. But they refuse to, because a lot of people would rather stay ignorant and live directly in, and around that ignorance, which to me is crazy. It's 100% crazy. And that also leads me to think that a lot of people just don't want to have, sensible conversations. Because again, if you look up information and you learn something new, then you could easily start having conversations with people specifically on the information and building on top of that. But again, like I said before, a lot of people would just rather stay dumb. And that is the tragic part. That is the tragic part. Like I said before, a lot of people, especially Black Americans, would rather not see a lot of other individuals go through oppression, systematic oppression, and different things of that nature. But because Black Americans are some of the only ones that tend to want to fight and that want to vocalize how it is that they feel about the system and how it is that they see it, everybody else is like, well, if we're not complaining, why should you complain? We need you Black guys to shut up and sit down, all of you BLM people. Anytime I happen to see people in the comment section or wherever always wanted to mention BLM, that's letting me know your age, because you don't have anything else. You come from one simple demographic, one simple mindset, and whatever is the hype during the time for your conservative views, that's what you're going to latch on to, and you're going to stay with up until they feed you or drip feed you something brand new to use or a brand new terminology. But other than that, the other thing that you guys got is what? Woke and BLM. I haven't heard or seen BLM in years. So for people to still bring that up, and then you still got people on X talking about George Floyd, you guys' obsession with that is something that needs to be studied. You could be obsessed and worried about so many other things like the debt clock, but you guys would rather focus in on all this other type of stuff that ain't nobody even caring about at this moment, because you guys are bored and you don't know how to actually focus your energy and conserve your energy for more important things, but be stupid and think that you're doing some type of inside joke online. Crazy work. Crazy work. It is crazy work out here. Man, diabolical. Lisa said woke means that you're aware of the real truth. Yeah, it's technically it's fairly simple, but try to explain that to other people, they're gonna be like, oh, woke is that's that that's that BLM talk. That's those those woke radical racist leftists. Like, y'all just at this moment of time just trying to spin words together just to try to make it seem like it's something bigger than what it is, and it's not. But like I said before, the government would do a very great job of demonizing and vilifying something in order to stop people from doing it. So if they don't want you to be woke, they'll demonize the word. So if you don't have a word to, in a sense, encompass what it is, then people won't be it. People won't gravitate towards it. People will think that, oh, if you're woke, that's something that's automatically negative. That's something bad. That's something evil. I don't want to be considered woke. I don't want to be considered. I don't want to be anything near woke. And this is why a lot of people are stupid. It's funny seeing a lot of people that say that they aren't followers, but yet they happen to follow the same trends as everybody else when it comes to demonizing and talking about certain things. It's crazy work. Crazy work. He said, dude in a hat. Wait, what is she? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what Kim Powell is talking about. You're talking about the first guy. You're talking about this guy here. I'm glad I stopped it right there. This is who Kim Powell is talking, because I was like, dude in the hat. I'm like, I'm not wearing a hat right now. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, who are you talking about right now? I'm like, wait a minute. Mika, what is up? You said, did Childish Gambino help or hurt with Stay Woke bringing it to mainstream media? I don't think it hurt, or I really feel like it was just neutral. I really feel like it was neutral. Because the funniest thing is, the only time that people had a problem with Childish Gambino is when he had the song "This Is America," right? And still to this day, I felt like I love that song, and I love the video even more, because it just detailed and it highlighted a lot of different things going on in America, just step by step. How the one girl, who was it? Was it her? No. It was her.
Thoughts on the
How she said that she wanted the message to be simple. Childish Gambino gave such a simple and blatant message that literally white people were losing their mind all over the place. They were like, oh my God, like, they're advocating for violence against this, and they're advocating for violence against us, and and all this other type of stuff, and look at this, and look at all and they're showing off this, and they were losing their minds. That's how simple the message was, so that everybody could easily digest that message. And when people were able to digest it and fully conceptualize and understand it, they were like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. And when they knew they couldn't take it back, this is when they were like, oh, no, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. These are the top 10 reasons I hate This Is America. I hate the song. It was all over Fox News and all this other. It was crazy during that time. And like I said, I love the song still to this day. Still to this day. But again, white people forgot about that song because it was just a flash in the pan, because somebody on Fox News or wherever told them to get angry, told them to get mad. Some Republican or conservative out there told them, hey, look at what they're doing. Look at the message that they're sending out and that they're trying to advocate for. And that's all they did. They take snippets, they take clips, and then they make a whole story and a thesis. And then those same people that follow that person, they're like, that person's obviously telling the truth. I don't need to sit up there and see the whole thing. It's disgusting. We don't need this in America. It's far too divisive of a message, and it's going to further just divide us. When America has already been divided since its inception. That's what slavery was. Slavery was division. Slavery was segregation. It wasn't integration. So, like I said before, and this is dealing with their forefathers. But it's always funny to me that the same people that come from that lineage want to talk about that they were never about, separatism or division. They were always about integrating everybody and everybody being everybody and everybody's God's children. And it's a lie. If you're a Democrat and you're anything other than black, it's a lie. You know it's a lie. You 9 times out of 10, this is not really how you sit up there and feel. And a lot of you guys, when you walk down the street or walk down a block, you're clutching your purse or your pearls. You're making sure to lock your car door, even though you're standing right there, but you see somebody black passing by. You want to sit up there and hurry up and lock your door. Trust me, I didn't heard too many times walking just to work. I done seen so many people just hit the locks on their doors. I'm like, you're still in your car and you're hitting the locks. You really think that if somebody really wanted your vehicle, you think locking the door is going to stop them? I need people to stop being so stupid. Like I said, if people are racist, I need people to just be that, just outwardly. Don't just try to hide it. Don't try to, conceal it. And this is one of the reasons why I stated to people before that I'm all fine and dandy with everything that's going to happen with this administration, because people are going to feel emboldened. People are going to say the things that they want to sit up there and say because they feel that they have the support system to do so. And I am all for it. The people that are not for it are the people that don't want to see the truth. And this is the same thing that I told people during the first time that Trump sat up there and took office. I told people the exact same things. But again, people didn't want to listen. People wanted to get emotional. People wanted to do this and people wanted to do that. And I keep trying to tell people that obviously a lot of people would rather the racism be hidden versus the racism being obvious and open and directly in their face. I keep telling people I like honesty. I like honesty. I like honesty. If I can drink my coffee black with nothing else in it, that's exactly how I want the racism. That's exactly how I want that honesty. Nothing needs to be hidden. I need people to stop trying to masquerade and act like everybody wants equality. I need people to stop masquerading and think and stop with this whole message of, oh, everybody's equal, everybody's God's children. That's a lie, because the Mormons literally stated themselves that black people are a curse. That because of everything that transpired, we are basically a curse. That's the only reason that we exist. And I showed y'all a cartoon not too long ago where the quote unquote the chosen children of the Mormon society that are supposed to go out there and be interstellar, and they're supposed to have these Adams and these Eves to go through and populate a lot of these barren planets to give them life or whatnot. Everybody was fair skinned and blonde hair, maybe even blue eyes. But you know who didn't have that complexion? The curses, aka the black people. And that's in America, folks. I ain't talking about nowhere else. But people want to turn around and try to tell black people that, oh, we're all, God's children and this, that, and the third and whatnot or whatever. It's crazy work. It's diabolical. Diabolical. In June, what is up? What is up? You said Biden made them too comfortable with all the American dream package during the whole term. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. A lot of people are, I guess you could say, people find comfort in comfortability, which I feel like I just said the exact same thing, just worded differently. But yeah, a lot of people would rather have racism with a chaser instead of just having the racism, straight up, which to me is crazy. Like you would rather I put it to you like this. I put it to another extent that I heard specifically, from other people on social media. I've heard women basically state that they would rather a man lie to them, even though they know what the truth is, versus a man come out and tell the truth. And I feel like that encompasses a lot of people in the United States when it deals with the government, when it deals with the whole theory of democracy or the veil of freedom, when realistically you are not free at all. And, when you just so happen to try to explain that to a lot of people, people lose it. They're like, what do you mean we're not free? We got more rights than a lot of other people, supposedly. Because let me just take it back a few years ago. Let's take it back to 2020 to 2023. If you are on social media, right, because we're living in this freedom society, if at any moment in time you wanted to speak against anything medical, you wanted to speak against Fauci, you wanted to speak against a lot of these other individuals, you wanted to speak against who? Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube would all come together in a bandwagon and be like, nope, we're not going to allow you to do that. We're going to say that that's misinformation. So again, how much freedom do you actually have when all of these corporate entities can literally come together and ban you and remove you directly off of a platform in America, right? Just saying. You're supposed to have the freedom of speech, correct? Obviously, you don't. And this is why I said before, going back to when Trump was first in office, he stated some things too. You know, what all of those big time, media businesses did, they were like, "Oh, we're taking you off of all of our platforms." A first world leader was taken off of all of those platforms. So if they're going to do that to a president, what does that then mean for your quote unquote freedom of speech? You have zero. If the leader of the free world doesn't have freedom of speech and he has to try to run and find a whole nother platform, guess what? You don't got nothing. And people still believe that you're free in America, that you got all of these great freedoms, that you can just go, to and from. The police can literally make up a reason to stop you and arrest you. It don't matter if you know your rights. It don't matter if you know this or that. They can plant narcotics and weapons directly on you. You give them a reason, especially if they're having a bad day, you are going to jail for a long time. Long time, and won't nobody know that you're there. And all of them will work in cahoots to keep you there. And then a multitude of different things will be happening to you while you're there in their care. And black people have shown this off to America. But you know what America said? Oh, this is too woke. We don't care about this. Let's look at this person's past history. Matter of fact, let's look at how this person reacted to the cops initially during this traffic stop. Oh, nope. See right there, this person was already in the wrong. Because they were already in the wrong during this traffic stop, they were raising their voice. They were being, honorary. They were being highly aggressive. I don't care what happens to them in the jail, because maybe if they acted differently during the traffic stop, maybe they would still be alive to this day. And that's what a lot of the conservatives, the Caucasites, were stating in the comment sections. Every single excuse directly in the book. And this is why I simply state that I'm completely fine and dandy with everything that is going to take place from now and possibly for a duration of 8 years. And if people don't understand what it is that I'm talking about, I specifically brought you guys a live stream where, I was magically blocked. It was only about probably, maybe less than 30 of you guys here, but there is legislation at this moment in time that people are working on passing that would allow a president to have 3 terms. The only way that you can't have 3 terms is if you did not serve 2 consecutive terms, meaning that if you did not serve 2 terms back to back, then you could go for a 3rd term. You know who's in line if this legislation actually passes somehow, some way, who will be able to go for a 3rd term when it comes to 2028? Donald Trump, because he didn't serve 2 consecutive terms. You had him as president at one point, Biden as president, him as president now. So because that wasn't 2 consecutive terms, because there was a space in between, he would then be able to run and more than likely win a 3rd election. So again, everything that is going to happen and transpire, I'm completely fine and dandy with. Because as the woman that you can see, the picture that I have up there, as she stated that she feels that the message should be written in plain sight, I literally read off the actual paperwork, and it was only 2 pages of the legislation that a Republican was trying to get passed in order to allow presidents to have a 3rd term. And even with that being in plain sight, even with showing off his website, do you think that, any of those people would actually care? No. Do you think that they're actually going to look up the information? No. Do you think that they're going to hoop and holler the same way that they're doing about this halftime performance? No. And the funniest thing is, the halftime performance does not have a bearing on America as a whole. When it deals with the government, it has no type of bearing. It's not really going to move or shift anything. But if you have legislation that is sitting there right now in black and white that is stating that a president can go for a 3rd term, that can have very detrimental consequences. But again, a lot of people aren't going to talk about that and bring that up. Like I said before, when I look at the whole thing of the Super Bowl performance, and how I look at how the song is very much talked about and how it's hyped up about the whole world, the main thing that I've always stated on this platform is this: if they're willing to put something directly in front of you, they're willing to advertise it, they're willing to have you listen to it, they're playing it in commercials, they're playing it during television shows, wherever you can basically go, you're hearing the exact same song. There is something that is going on that they're distracting you directly from. And I've said that for the longest time that I've been doing this platform. I haven't stated that before when a celebrity or celebrities were having some breakdowns. And this was during a point in time that there were oil spills happening. And one of these celebrities were having this big breakdown. And during this big breakdown, the whole world was just focused on the celebrity. It doesn't matter on what continent people are in. Everybody was focused in on the celebrity. All the news, all the outlets, everybody was focused on this. But people didn't realize or know that another oil spill actually happened in the oceans. And they didn't find out about it up until some months from when that celebrity was having those breakdowns or whatnot or whatever. This is why I try to tell people that you have to wisen up and you have to be, smarter, because they will hide a lot of stuff in plain sight. They'll give you something to feed directly off of. This is why I told you guys, even back during 2020, 2021, 22, 23, the Coliseum is open. And it's in full swing. It's in overdrive. They are overclocking this at this moment in time. Because now pretty much this is said and done, right? We had the whole Cat Williams thing that lasted for about a good year and everything else followed up after that, right? And then we also had the whole thing with Kendrick and Drake. So pretty much now the Super Bowl, the finale in a sense has happened with that. So for all intents and purposes, that's said and done. So now the great question is, what's next? What are they going to put in front of everybody's face to have everybody talking about, to have everybody uncomfortable, or to have, everybody try to highlight and talk about, versus a lot of the important stuff that is actually affecting people every single day, such as legislation, right? Such as a lot of people in the government having lifetime jobs. They can be there from their early 20s up until they're in a casket. Like I said, there's a variety of things going on directly out here. There's a lot of moving pieces and people ain't paying attention. People only paying attention to literally one thing because they're forcing you, giving you tunnel vision. When realistically, they've pretty much wiped away critical thinking from society. And again, you don't have a lot of people talking about that. And I tend to try to bring that up in a lot of different live streams and or videos. The fact that critical thinking seems to be erased at this moment in time, where it seems that a lot of people can't seem to realistically think for themselves, where people are like, all right, I'm going with the group think. I'm not going to go outside of the boundary or the barriers. I'm just going to, it's a lot easier to follow what everybody else is basically saying. It takes, less thought. I don't have to figure out, I don't have to write anything down. I don't have to do any research. I'm just going to follow what everybody else is basically doing and saying. And I'm like, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Because if people haven't figured out, go back and look at some of the things that happened during the civil rights era. The government's orchestrated certain things to take place by way of using the public in order to, cause a type of collapse, in order to cause a type of confusion or misinformation. The government literally has the power to do all of this psychological warfare by advertisement or whatever, and people still ain't paying attention. It's crazy work. Like I said, shout out to the government because they do great work. You got all different types of unclassified documents out here and people still ain't reading. It's some diabolical work out here. No. I understand why it is that they don't like Black history. The same exact reason why trolls will appear every now and again and try to state how great they are or all this other type of stuff. I'm like, if you are quote unquote so great, you don't in a sense have to say it. You don't have to tell anybody, right? You don't have to, do that because it's just present. It's just there, right? Now, mind you, Black Americans have to, in a sense, put out what contributions that we've done or what it is or where it is that we have been and all that other type of stuff, because that history is not taught. That history, as they like to say, that all history is American history, that's a lie, because you're not going to teach all history. You're not going to teach a lot of the successful things that Black people have done, like Black people successfully rebelling against the slave masters and burning down plantations and freeing a lot of their brothers and their sisters and their family. You're not going to sit up there and talk about that. You're not going to really talk about how Black Americans have been one of the main groups, no matter how they've gotten treated in the United States, to be the first ones in line to help fight for this country, irregardless on how it is that we're treated still to this day. You're not going to sit up there and really highlight and talk about that. You're not going to highlight it and speak on how undeserving America is and how it is that, again, that America doesn't deserve to have Black people here. You ain't going to talk about that. Well, I'm talking about the America of now. You're not going to sit up there and say that. And then on top of that, you're not going to talk about all the many wrongs that you've done to Black Americans, aka the indigenous folks here. And you're not going to apologize for it. Like I told you guys before, if you look back, if memory serves me correctly, when I did a video on this, it wasn't up until the 90s that the United States government apologized to the Hawaiians for what it is that they did to them. And again, that was the American government taking Hawaiian land, taking the land again from natives for their own purposes, their own uses, caused a coup and everything, got rid of their kings and their queens. They got rid of all of that just to claim it as theirs, even though you already had indigenous people there. You're going to go there to somebody else's land and claim it as yours. And then you're going to, after doing all of this and trying to erase their history and all of this and you want to come through and apologize. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. And this is why the Hawaiian population is pretty much at a 50-50, which it should not be. There should be more Hawaiians on that land than there are of any other people. But due to the American government, this is what tends to happen. Crazy work. Let me see. Chief said pushing Black division is good. What Black division are you talking about? I need you to be very specific. What Black division are you talking about? Golden said they won't tell you that Black people living outside of the 13 colonies before 1776. They're not gonna explain any of those things, because they're pretty much trying to tell people that, hey, the way that America was formed was the same way that everything else was formed back in Genesis, right? Where you had Adam and Eve basically there. They were the ones that repopulated. The Europeans are trying to play the exact same song and dance, but they're like, okay, well, pretty much, North America was barren, and we found this land, and we brought our own people there, and we populated, said land. And what happened when we were populating is that you had these encroachers on the land that we already claimed, and we had to take care of them. Right? That's what they like to teach in American history. That's how they like to try to, make it seem. When realistically, they came here, they saw natives. They themselves, as the Europeans, were struggling. The natives were like, we feel sorry for the ghosts directly out here. So we're going to sit up there and help you out and teach you what you need to know. And as soon as they got, on balance, and they learned things and they felt that they were on equal footing, they were like, all right, we're on equal footing. We don't actually like to be equal to nobody. So we're going to give you this nice gift of smallpox and other things so y'all can have at it. Share it amongst yourselves. And this started that snowball effect. And this is where the quote unquote indigenous people that were here that, taught them everything that they know, magically, they seemingly disappeared. But also during that same process, the Europeans were like, maybe we can't really get rid of all of them like this. We're going to have to start reclassifying people. And if you pay attention to history, you can't show me another group of people on this planet that have been reclassified more than Black Americans. Like the reclassifications that we have literally gone through is insane. It's 100% insane. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find something for you guys real quick. I'm going to see if I can just so happen to find something that I was looking at before, and it's actually, touching on this exact same topic when it deals with terminologies, when it deals with Black individuals here. If I can happen to find it, let's see here. Technically, that is as close as I can probably. Oh, it turned into a web file? That's crazy. Let me see if I can capture this real quick. All right, let me see if I can put this up for you guys. This is basically touching on what I'm talking about here. So we do that, do this. Right? Basically dealing with that one drop rule. For all intents and purposes. Let me just take out the background image there. So if people need to come back to a live stream, they know specifically what it is that I'm referring to and talking about. Because like I said, some of these things is completely crazy. Because they also have other terminology. I might be heading in the right direction. I might be able to actually find the picture that I'm looking for. Because like I said, there was a lot of different terminologies for quote unquote Black people or people who are, mixed, however you want to sit up there and view it. Like I said, if anybody here read that real quick and tell me your thoughts, because I'm trying to get y'all a clearer image. Because it's a little bit crazy how I can't get what I'm looking for here. Let me see, wasn't it like a, because we had this. Let me see. I might have to bring it up in a different live stream for that picture. I might have to get it off the other computer. Like it's crazy when you actually want to show something and you can't specifically get the exact picture that you're looking for. Some of the names that they got up here, I kid you not, these are not any of the names that I learned anywhere, like at all. Like you had like Quadroon, you had Mulatto, Negro, Quadrine, and like a few other ones. I think it was like close to like 6 different ones. You said I think 2 persons of color can create a person that appears to be white. Uh, 2 white people can never create a person that appears anything other than yeah. They can pretty much create themselves. Black people are the main ones that can pretty much create everybody else. Now you'll have certain times where people are like, okay, well, but explain how this white couple was able to produce this black child. Well, more than likely somebody else in their family from a long time ago was black. And for whatever reason, that piece of the DNA decided to come directly through into the child that they're having right now. Because at this moment, you got people really trying to hype up online, like, oh yeah, well, we can sit up there and create, black people that no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. You can only create what's there, and if the DNA from previous generations are there by going by this chart, if basically at one point in time during slavery, somebody was with somebody else, that is the only way that you can just so happen to do that. That is the only way. Like people keep trying to, play games directly out here and everything like that. That's why yeah, what was the other name that they had? They also had Creole was a another term and or definition as well too. Like I said, this chart doesn't really show off what it is that I'm trying to highlight at this moment in time. I'm a little bit mad. I'm a little bit mad, just a tad bit. Let me see. What would be the name that I'm looking for? Let me see. All right, because you got the quadroon. See quadroon chart. It's gonna take me a minute to find this. So I already know that you're gonna have a lot of people probably dip off the live stream. But before people happen to do that, much love, respect, and appreciation for taking part in the live stream. Much love, much love. And I will check the numbers on both channels when it deals with the poll that I put up in a minute, because I was supposed to actually check that as well too. But I'm so focused on actually trying to find the chart that has all the listings up there. And like I said before, even just with the little bit that you're able to see, again, the reclassification, how it is that they try to, okay, well, this isn't like full black, this is partly, or this one is half and half, or this one is 1/4, 1/8, 1/16. And I'm like, that is crazy. I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's crazy how that works. And then this also goes into the effect of how a lot of people tend to classify themselves because of the past. Right. And then not even just that, but a lot of people like to, classify themselves a certain type of way by way of society as well. Like, the people that they're around and everything like that. Let me see. Chapter 1, Race and Multiracial Americans in the United States Census. In the 1890s, a mulatto was defined as someone with 3/8 to 5/8 black. Wait, let me see. Where did it go? Damn, I lost it. Click directly on it. Okay, so they said, okay, so mulattoes, quadroons, and octoroons. Some race scientists and public officials believed it was important to know more about groups that were not pure white or black. Some scientists believed that these groups were less fertile or otherwise weak. They looked to census data to support their theories. From the mid 19th centuries through the 1920s, the census race category includes some specific multiracial groups, mainly those that were black and white. Quote, mulatto was a category from 1850 to 1890 in 1910 to 1920. Octoroon and quadroon were categories in 1890. Definitions for these groups varied from census to census. In 1870, mulatto was defined as including quadroons or octoroons and all persons having any perceivable trace of African blood. The instructions to census takers stated that the important scientific results depended on their including people in the right categories. In the 1890s, a mulatto was defined as someone with 3/8 to 5/8 black blood. A quadroon had 1/4 black blood, and a octoroon had 1/8 or any trace of black blood. The word Negro was added in the 1900s to replace colored. The census officials noted that the new term was increasingly favored among members of the African race. In the 2000s, African American was added to the census form. In 2013, the Bureau announced that because Negro was offensive to many, the term will be dropped from the census forms and surveys. Although American Indians were not included in the United States Census, an Indian category was added in the 1860s, but enumerators counted only those American Indians who were considered assimilated, for example, those who settled in or near white communities. The census did not attempt to count the entire American Indian population until the 1890s. Huh. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Then they go into multiracial backgrounds, some exempt. If someone was both Indian and Negro, the preferred term at the time, census takers were told the person should be considered Negro unless Indian blood very definitively predominant and the person was regarded in the community as Indian. Ooh, that's diabolical work. So let's just get this right. From everything that I just read from here. So they literally went through and recategorized and split. And then on top of that, even if you had, quote unquote, as they said, an African American that was there that had native blood, it still wasn't going to get counted because, quote unquote, he wasn't actually a part of the community and he didn't really look like it. They'll just automatically consider him Negro. Crazy work. And I'm pretty sure that's how they're doing directly on the reservations, even though those on the reservations know the truth, know what's actually happening, know what's going on. But just like a lot of the churches in the black community, how they know what's really going on, what's really happening, they'll just idly buy and just sit there and take money from the government, just like those who are on a lot of this quote unquote Native American land and whatnot or whatever. They know what really is up. They know how stuff really works, but they're going to stay quiet and they're just going to, keep taking in the money that they're getting from, the United States government. Like I said, Black Americans have been rebranded more times than any other group in existence, bar none. Bar none. Crazy. That is some diabolical work. Lisa said, on my family tree, there's a 1950 census. Uh-oh, Scotty Danger's like, why do you live in the past? You also said, here's a new flash. You aren't African American. You're just American. No, actually, I the funniest thing, Scotty, do you know who the original Americans are? This is just for Scotty. I want because Scotty wanted to, he wrote that at what, like 6:07. It's 6:09 right now. So I'm about like 2 minutes off. So Scotty, I need you to let me know who the real Americans are. Let me know. Let me know who the real Americans are. We got Lala in the building. What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Hold that thought. I see you, Scotty. You made a reply. You said the Mexicans and the Indians. Hold that thought. Let me get this book real quick. Hold on, I got you. Let me get this book real quick. All right. Had to hurry up and run downstairs real quick. Hurry up and run downstairs. All right. So I'm glad that you made that reply. I'm very happy, and I'm glad that you're gonna bring this down so I can speak real quick. So Scotty, thank you for your reply. Thank you for staying here. Unlike most of the trolls. So I'm reading from because a lot of people want to come here and they want to ask me like, yo, Seji, where are you getting your information from? Where's the actual proof? Where are your actual sources, right? Just like the last live stream. So for anybody that's actually wondering where I'm getting this from, I'm reading this directly from the American Dictionary of the English Language, 1828. So this is way older than anybody here that is currently alive. So we're going to go with the Americans. American, pertaining to America, right? American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or the coppered color races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America, right? So remember, you had the Aboriginals that were originally here. You had the coppered complected individuals. Now, anytime I happen to see Native Americans or I happen to see Mexicans, I happen to see the lightest ones. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody, anytime I happen to go to Walmart, anytime, and I happen to go anywhere around the United States, I happen to see the most lightest or close to whitest Mexicans or Latins that I've ever seen. So obviously, this definition from 1828 is not talking about them. Correct? Just wondering. Scotty was like, the dictionary has been rewritten more than any other book in history, not more than a Bible. Let's just get that factually correct. Not more than a Bible. The Bible is in pretty much every single language known to man, and it has many different versions. Just gonna put that out there. Just gonna say that. Just gonna put that directly out there. Right? So let's see something real quick, right? So let's go back because they said Aboriginals, right? So definition of Aboriginal, they said the first original primitive Aboriginal people are the first inhabitants of a country, right? Aboriginal, again, the original or primitive inhabitants, the first settlers in a country are called Aboriginals, right? As the Celts in Europe and the Indians in the Americas, right? So again, we're still dealing with people that have melanin. When I think about or look at the name, and I'm looking at what I'm clearly able to see. When is the last time that you've seen a quote unquote melanated Native American? I'm just asking. I'm just wondering. Because anytime I look on these reservations, I'm not seeing anybody that has more melanin than me. I'm not seeing anybody that's copper colored. I'm seeing anybody and everybody that's close, if not white. So I'm just. Oh no, Mo was like, just Google the drawings of Native Americans. That's too easy. I don't want to go that route. I like using the books that I got. I spent money on these books, man. I spent money on these books. I like being able to use these every now and again. Scotty was like, I wouldn't take a dictionary from the 1800s as gospel. Huh? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Scotty, just a quick question. Are you a religious man by chance? Are you a religious man by chance? Just wondering. Just trying to figure out something. You said, of course. So you said we can't take a book from the 1800s, a dictionary from the 1800s as gospel, but you're going to take the Bible. The Bible is older than any dictionary that we got out here, and it's been more rewritten in a multitude of different languages than anything else. On top of the fact that they've specifically taken out certain words and or chapters. Case in point, the book of Enoch. Because it's a little bit confusing to me how people are like, yeah, I believe in the Bible, but you don't believe in the book of Enoch. You don't even know about it, didn't even like read it, nothing like that. And for whatever reason, the powers that be decided, we're going to separate, we're going to take away, everything from the book of Enoch. We're just going to hand people this stuff from the Bible, cherry pick a few things, put those things together. Voila. So I'm a little bit confused. We can't take the words from a book from the 1800s, but we can take the word from a book that's like eons, ages ago. How does that work? How does that make any type of sense? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Both of these books are old, but one is factual and one isn't. So because I can give you a dictionary term of what it told you that the actual Americans are, that's not factual. That's not based on anything. That's whatever it is. But this Bible right here, So since you're a religious person, Scotty, wait. Scotty said, Enoch is in my set of scriptures, is canonized in my religion, but there are many thousands of more dictionaries written throughout the history of time, more than the Bible. Okay. So now correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I was in like a religious school. Anybody else can correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I'm horribly incorrect because it's been so long ago. But Scotty, isn't there a part in, wasn't it like Revelations, where it talks about Jesus having hair of wool and skin of bronze? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember happening to read that, way back when I was like younger. I was probably about close to being like a preteen. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Hair of wool, skin of bronze. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If that was the description that they gave there. You said perhaps, but I don't know. Aren't you? Didn't you just say that you're a religious person? What are we doing here? Hold on. Let's go back to what you said. You said the book of Enoch is in your set of scriptures, right? And it's canonized in your religion. So obviously you are a religious person. I don't, male or female, doesn't matter. You're a religious person and you are of the faith. So which means you have read the book. You understand the book like, most religious people. So I'm a little bit confused on how you don't specifically know if it states that. I mean, again, thank you for the honesty of saying that you're not sure, that you don't know. Thank you for the honesty. But again, I'm a little bit perplexed on how it is that you don't know. And I'm pretty sure I know, way less, right? Because again, I'm going back to when I was younger. in school. But that was something that really piqued my interest, because I want to remind people that when I was in private school, what you say? You said probably not as much as I should. Well, thank you for the honesty. Thank you for the honesty. I'm very happy that you're not trying to like wave away from it. You're just being completely honest. Thank you for that. But the thing, going back to when I was younger, going to private school, and this was a black private school, right? So we had the stained glass windows and a church and everything, and Jesus, for all intents and purposes, was white. And in my mind, I'm like, if they're saying that this is how he looked in the Bible, and I'm looking at the picture that's above that has the sun and the the sunlight coming directly through, I'm like, somebody's lying. Like, somebody is completely lying. Like, how am I supposed to believe something when I'm obviously getting, physically, in reality, told a visible lie? It's like, how am I supposed to take anything serious? And that's just me as a kid. And the most interesting thing is that whenever you happen to bring up either what the first people or original people happen to look like, people start running. People start saying, well, it doesn't really, why does it matter what Jesus looked like? Just focus on, the word. He was the, the Son of God. Well, I'm going to put it like this. If Jesus was portrayed to be a black man, what would that mean that his creator would be? What would his father be? But like I said, nobody wants to do that, because then that's going to start to break a certain reality, a certain type of house of cards that people built for themselves. So they don't want to go to and look specifically at that. They don't want to go in depth. They'll go in depth anywhere else in the Bible. But when you start trying to bring up what the color of people were, people start breaking down. People start going all over the place. Come on, Scotty. I just literally said this. You were like, either way, yes. Why does it matter? If it was so freaking important, God, through his hundreds of prophets throughout history, would have answered that question. Are you kidding me, right? Like, I literally just sat here and stated this before you decided to write this statement. You can't, you got to be trolling me right now. You have to be. You cannot. You gotta be. You gotta be. I gotta pull the Diddy out here. I like the way you scraping and scrambling out here. Because you are scraping and scrambling right now. Like, this is crazy. I was giving you credit all the way through. I'm like, this man is being honest. You doing good right now. You ain't sitting up and running. And then you hit me with the same thing I've always heard from people. What does it matter what color God was? What about the message? What about what he did for people? Wow, that's some diabolical work. Oh, man. This is why I love live streams. I swear to goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. 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 Yep. Like Yisrael stated, or what? Yisrael stated, hopefully I pronounced that correct, said that if color didn't matter, why did they change his image? That's bars. And a lot of people in the United States are always sitting up there stating that, color doesn't matter. They don't see color. But the moment in time that you start making Santa Claus is a fictitious character, right? You see what happens when you start to make a black Santa Claus, right? Everybody loses their minds. They don't know specifically what to do anymore. They're like, oh no, on Fox News, what was it, Megyn Kelly? She was like, no, Santa Claus has always been white. Right? Then when they had Uncle Sam has always been white. That's a fictitious character, but okay, keep going off. So then when you go to a quote unquote real religious character, real figure, everybody, believes in the modern world, and you decide to tell people like, hey, he's black, people are like, no, he's always been white. Since when? Since who? And if we have a description of what Jesus looks like in the Bible, then that will lead to the question that who do you have everybody trying to worship in front of their homes? Like I said, this is why I love Good Times. If anybody is old enough or has watched reruns of Good Times, their son Michael had brought up the whole fact of dealing with Jesus and the color that Jesus was. And he stated that pretty much Jesus was reflective of him. He was reflective of his dad, people in his family. That the picture that of the white Jesus that they have directly in a black household is not reflective of Jesus, the Son of God, not reflective at all. And the mother had to basically fight with reality, with everything that she was taught versus with the new knowledge that she was now given from her son. And that pretty much also encompasses a lot of white Americans. Because I'll go to a further fact. Case in point, you can happen to look it up. In the Vatican, they worship a black Madonna. And if the Madonna is black, what does that mean for the child? Oops. Oops. But nobody wants to talk about that. Even Vladimir Putin sat up there and showed you. But yet, people wanted to, gloss over that. People didn't want to pay attention to it. It's amazing how that works. It's amazing how people want to only pay attention to things when it specifically pertains to them, when it in a sense uplifts them. But yet Black Americans here have paid attention to everything and taken all of that in. It's crazy how that works. It's diabolical. But and your name is Tom Cruise? That's what we're doing out here? It's crazy work out here. Oh, the guys are spawning up to Tom Cruise. Because I'm like, yeah, you said olive. I'm like, excuse me? Like, I know what an olive looks like. I know what olive green is. Like the craziest part is when people want to try to state that, okay, yeah, this person did have some color, but that doesn't, automatically mean that they were this. They were this, that, and the third. Separate from anything that you are basically stating. Where is Africa again? What continent is that? That is quote unquote a warm climate, correct? And people keep listing like the Arabs and all of these other people that are lighter complected that came directly to Africa. A lot of people migrate, correct? Just saying, just look at South America and how light, if not close to white, that has gotten. That's because of the migration or the European immigration that was allowed by the South American government in order to whiten the continent there. So if that took place over there in South America, what would then take place, over there in Africa by other groups of people that wanted to usurp the throne, that wanted to take over land and seize power and yada, yada, yada. Because correct me if I'm wrong, in a lot of African nations back in the day, a lot of their languages, their religions, their libraries were burned to ash. I wonder why somebody would do that. The only purpose and the reason to do that would be to hide the truth, would be to hide facts. So that if we don't have anything to go off of from the past, we have to look at what it is now and just consider that to just be the only way. Right? It's crazy. Diabolical. Wait, Scotty, who are you replying to where you said some sounds racist? I'm a little bit confused. Now, let me just be honest with you. And this is me on an open platform. I can be prejudiced. 100%. I can be that. But Scotty, I don't even know what you were. For all intents and purposes, let's just say that you're white, right? How could I, as a black man on this platform right now, be racist towards you? How can I stop you from buying a home? How could I introduce laws that could hinder your progress, that can ensnare or entrap your people, that can cause any types of, pitfalls? How could I color code or red line? How could I, as a black man, have any ability to really impact you as quote unquote, and I'm just listing you as a white man for all intents and purposes because that's the example that I have because I'm dealing with America. How could I do anything to really impact your people as greatly as the United States government or that slavery has ever done to Black Americans here? I'll wait. Because that's what I've been waiting for. Because for the longest time possible, even if you weren't specifically stating to me about the whole racist thing, you might have been, speaking to somebody else. Even on my platform, I've had a multitude of people. Doesn't matter if they were Latin, doesn't matter if they were European, doesn't matter if they were Canadian, it don't matter where they're from. I've had a lot of people from all over try to say that Seji is a racist. And the simple question that I ask to a lot of those people who come here and who want to try to preach that and try to state that and try to brand me with that is prove to me that how is it that I'm so racist that I have the power to inflict or cause anything negative to happen to your people systematically, disabling you by way of food, of any type of funding, of any type of housing, clothing, education, financial. Prove to me how it is that I am this such of a racist, or that Black people in general are so racist that we can literally hinder and impact the white community in such a negative way that we can throw you back to the Stone Ages. I'll wait. Take your time. Like I said, maybe you might need to go get a book. I ran downstairs to go get one of my books. So maybe you might need a few books to back you up. But at least from everything that I'm able to see with the United States government, Black people don't have that ability. Black people don't have that power. Because I don't control white people's finances. So, Bubba, I'm going to take it that you're a hick from deep south in the woods somewhere, and you're talking about that you want me to start, listing off some type of proof and yada yada. That's not how this works. There's a certain hierarchy here. I'm obviously the one talking, and you as my son are coming here and listening to me. That's how that works. It's not the other way around. I'm not coming to your platform. I'm not, trying to tell you you need to do this. This is not customer service. The customer is not always right. On my platform, you will always be wrong up until I say otherwise. So you better, learn your place real quick. Learn your place real quick. There are levels, and you're not even at level 1. So you can try again. You can try again. Like, that's crazy. Like I said, that's some crazy work out here. Y'all be trying to roll up here and think that y'all, going to Burger King, McDonald's, and any other type of establishment, which helps the cause more so towards your high cholesterol and obesity. And you think that you can just, get your way. Nah. Oh, we can get you right up on out of here. We can get you right up on out of here. Let you know. Let me see. Tobias said that you all can create laws and sanctions and policies that strictly prohibits us. I'm going to okay. So yeah, you're talking about Europeans, Caucasians, pagans. Yeah, they got the ability to do that. Black people have never had that ability to do that. Never. And even if we did, people still wouldn't listen. people still wouldn't listen. Like, it's crazy. First of all, how you calling me a fraud and you named yourself after a white guy? That's like a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire. and that's along with Scientology. You're going to say that I'm a fraud, but you literally named yourself after an actor. Out of all the names that you could have literally made on this platform, you literally named yourself Tom Cruise, and I'm the fraud. I need you to have several seats somewhere. I'm gonna, y'all some straight clowns are y'all, man. Come on now, y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta really do better. Come on now, like what's? Come on now, I'm fraudulent, brother. The whole system that you got, well, that's even if you're from the United States. Chances are you might not. You might be somebody from like India or somewhere scamming. Might be from Nigeria or something. Shout out to the Nigerians. But this whole system in America is a scam. Can we start there? Just last live stream for a lot of the people that was here, I put up the debt clock. A lot of your counterparts that were here previously didn't have anything to say about the debt clock. When I brought up who were the main ones who caused the trillions of dollars worth of debt, and I specifically stated it wasn't Black Americans, magically people wanted to skip over that. Nobody wanted to attack that situation. Nobody wanted to talk about the situation. But mind you, when it deals with the media, everybody always tried to say and fixate on, oh, Black Americans, you guys are doing this and doing that. They want to bring up articles talking about, oh, Black men cost America such and such billions of dollars because they weren't working and all this other type of stuff. But I'm like, okay, so let's say that due to the excess of Black American men not being able to work, cause that to happen. But what is the first reality that sets in that lets you know why it is that Black American men weren't able to get those jobs? Because it's not like there aren't jobs out there, because there are. But why would it be that Black American men who are qualified, who are educated, wouldn't be able to actually get those jobs? Because you know, the funniest thing is, I know a Black man that was turned down because he was quote unquote overqualified for a job. And some of you guys might know who that person is. That young man is Officer Haku, aka as I know him as Outlaw, right? I known the brother for years, been playing video games with him since like the 360 era. That man is family oriented. That man is headstrong. He is educated. Whatever needs to be done in order to get money, on the table directly into that house, he is working that job in order to get things moving. He is consistently working on trying to upgrade that. I done had quite a few conversations where the brother sat up there and told me that he was turned down for a job. An educated Black man was turned down for a job because he was overly qualified. And this is what I'm trying to tell people when a lot of people want to put up these stats and then we're talking about, oh, these Black men aren't getting these jobs. Yeah, because a lot of people want to use the excuse of being overly qualified because they don't want to compensate and pay a lot of these Black men who are educated, who did the necessary things, the actual money that they are worth. So if America lost out on billions of dollars, that's America's problem. It's not those Black men's fault that they were overly qualified. So what? They're supposed to sit up there and dumb themselves down, dumb down their educations, and in order to get the job? Nah, that don't make any sense, because then all that means is that you're going to pay them less. And then when somebody else that's fair skinned with blonde hair and blue eyes comes directly in there with no type of experience, they automatically got a leadership position. But nobody wants to talk about that, though. Nobody wants to talk about how when you got the complexion for the protection, you automatically get elevated to a position of which you don't actually deserve because you don't actually have the qualifications. But everybody wants to go around here and they want to scream, DEI, DEI. Crazy work. But now a lot of those people are starting to understand that they are the real DEI initiatives, especially when it deals with white women. So shout out to a lot of y'all who decided to actually vote for this, and you put yourselves directly on the altar to be sacrificed, so that your men could stay in power just a little bit longer. Power of which that they stole. It's crazy work out there. It's crazy work. So like I said, to all the Black men out there that are educated, that are doing everything that you need to be done, even if it even outside of the education, even if you are overly qualified because you worked an abundance of jobs and you were successful at those jobs, you were qualified for those positions, and they still don't want to give you those jobs, much love, respect, and appreciation to you for all your hard work and dedication. And please don't pay attention to a lot of the things on social media that I just so happen to see every day that are meant to put there to put you in a perpetual negative type of mindset to feel that this is how everybody looks at you, because it's not. Trust me, it's not. Like I said, it's crazy. Stephen Collins said, anyways, of course it's anyways, because you have nothing else to add. You said it's nothing to do with race and everything to do with shared moral value, beliefs, and basic standards of behavior. Okay, you got to be responding to somebody else, because there is no way that you're responding to me. There's no way. There's no way that you're responding to me. Let me see this. Hold on. What else you wrote? Well, okay, hold on. Stephen Collins, are you saying that the Irish and the Scottish were the first slaves over here in the United States and the Americas? Is that what you're saying? So shout out to Kenji for bringing it up, because I was about to say, because I'm like, yeah, there's a difference between being a slave and indentured servitude. I got books on that. I got books on Irish and Scottish slaves and servitude. There's a difference between the 400 years that black people suffered versus in even more. Because in some areas around the United States, slavery was not fully done up until the tail end of like the 1960s towards like the start of the 1970s. People can do their research. You don't got to sit up there and take my word directly on it. But again, there's a documentary upon it about a living resident. So down south. So again, you don't got to take my word for it. You can go look up the documentary. But yeah, the Irish and the Scottish, they could have been indentured servants, which means that, hey, I'm going to formulate this contract with another person and I'm going to work for you for this certain period of time. And then after my time is done, I'm released. Black Americans did not have a chance to do any of that. We weren't doing any type of contracts. We couldn't barter any type of thing. It was either you were going to be a slave or you were they were going to get rid of you and you were going to be 6 feet somewhere. You were going to be alligator bait. You were going to be pulled up. A multitude of things were going to sit up there and transpire and happen to you. Right? So the same things that happened to Black Americans during the point of slavery was nothing that the Scottish or the Irish could even sit up there and say that they even went through. You might be able to, you had some harsh conditions. Oh, you might have got talked down to. Oh, maybe there was a whip there or here. But historically, how the experimentation and everything has gone, yeah, nah. Mm-mm. It's crazy work. Miss Wright said that the Irish that came over here were black as well. These hybrids didn't get here until the mid or late 1800s. That's another aspect I wasn't even going to touch on, because the funniest thing is that people forget that over there, and when you deal with Scotland, Ireland, and things of that nature, you have black people there. You have black people there. They may be far few and in between, but you got some black people there. And it also goes to further showcase the fact that this planet is a warm planet, and that no matter where you go, you're going to find melanin directly there. But in certain places, they are better at hiding these things, such as the Asian countries. This is why you don't see the more melanated people there. They tend to hide them, especially when it deals with the media. When it deals with the news, they're going to show the lightest of the lightest, the porcelain of the porcelain, or the closest to white. They're going to make sure to show any one of those three. Anybody else that is other than that, they consider melanin as being poor. They consider that if you are darker complected in those countries, you are obviously poor. And if you are light, anything close to white, you are, middle class, wealthy, rich, educated, those types of things. So even in Japan, when you go to a lot of the cities, you don't really see the melanated Japanese there. You got to go to rural Japan. The same thing, technically, if you think about Seoul, Korea, think about that. Seoul, Korea. Why would you name something Seoul, Korea? The only people that really actually used to talk about Seoul, is black people. Korea has very dark complected people, but you're not going to see them because they're going to show you the lightest ones because they tend to bleach their skin. They tend to lighten or whiten their skin. There was a few years ago, probably about 2 years ago, that I showed y'all a picture of a Asian general and some of his fellows directly there. They were all suited and booted, and you know the one thing that they had in common, they were all melanated. I even showed pictures of rural China. I'm talking about like back from like I'm talking about like some 1800s, like Korea, China, Japan type. And everybody there was dark complected like they were me. Their hair was that of wool. You saw all types of curls. You saw some that even would even look like a fro. You had all of these things going on. But now what do you see in these Asian countries? Everybody got straight hair. Everybody got fair skin. Everybody's light, if not close to white. Like I said, a lot of people do a lot of work to hide a lot of things. A lot of people do a lot of work to hide a lot of things. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. For the Vikings, didn't they sit up there and say that they had somebody called the Blue People? And weren't those Vikings black? Weren't they black? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to, pull some stuff from different things that I've gone through over time. Billy Jean, what is up? What is up? You said, I enjoyed this chat at SEIJIHITO. Catch you on the next live. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. I think I did get a message. We had a couple of messages here. I want to highlight these. Much love and respect to Brother Allen for the $5 dono. Again, I still got to get a counter so that you could be, directly up there, because the amount of times that you've donated to the channel is crazy. It's crazy work directly out here, and you find some way, pretty much every day to sit up there and do it. Much love, respect, and appreciation. All day, every day. It's highly appreciated. Want to give a shout out to Lehman Lucas. Much love and appreciation for the $2 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. And then we also have the one of many. Much love and appreciation for, I'm just going to round that up as a $2 dono because it's $1.99. It's basically $2 anyway. So shout out for the $2 dono. And you said Mississippi was the last to abolish slavery. Bars. 100% facts. So again, much love, respect, and appreciation for everybody who, pulled up to the scene and donated to the channel. Also, much love and respect and appreciation to anybody who also just subscribed to the platform as well. And I want to note to people at this moment in time that once the numbers got low enough, this is when the counters that you see on the bottom of the screen are showing the numbers. Because before, when we were looking at 200 and 300 plus people, it was not looking like this. The numbers were looking a little bit weird. It was looking a little bit off. I don't know what was going on. I don't know specifically what YouTube is doing, but it is what it is. Again, this is why I say every live stream, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I just wanted to get that out the way, just in case anything happens to the live stream. Just wanted to put that out there. Oh, we got somebody else. Hold on. Who was that? I wish my Power Ranger notification would pop up. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I want to say, let me see. Antony Richardson. Hopefully, if I pronounced that right. Hopefully, I did not mispronounce that. I'm terrible with names sometimes, so I do try to apologize, before and also during, because I tend to mess up, because how I, in a sense, internally read it is different from how I happen to pronounce it. You said keep the knowledge coming, good brother. Much love, respect, and appreciation again. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without people like you guys rolling through, supporting the channel, and a lot of those things. Because like I told you guys before, at certain times I'll do live streams or I'll do videos and magically they'll get demonetized for whatever reason. And I'm like, I don't even understand what I even said wrong for that to happen. But YouTube is like, I guess we just didn't like this, so bow, nothing. And I'm like, okay, I guess we gotta, work on a script or something. I don't know. Just just putting that out there. So let me scroll through. Tobias said, you can pull up all the history about everything else. However, America doesn't have a clue where words are messing up, foundational Black Americans are from and what our language was. That's facts. That's facts. That's 100% facts. Dragonheart said we was kangs. Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. I don't know what else to sit up there and tell you. The funniest thing that I find hilarious whenever I see somebody write this online, it's like people are envious in a sense, right? So Black people can sit up there and say like, yo, what's up, king? What's up, queen? We can say things like that as a sense of pride, as a sense of like respect. And the people on the other side will sit up there and just, try to make some type of like mockery or try to do an inside joke when realistically they're not really funny. Right? Comedy is subpar. It's not even mid at this moment in time. It just is whatever. And it's like, because they don't happen to uplift or talk to their people in a positive type of manner, they want to try to cast a shadow whenever it is that Black people want to talk positively about their own people. See, this is how they want to go about trying to demonize certain types of words and certain types of things that Black people do. This is what they like to do. We was king, right? Crazy work. But it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Stay hating directly in the corner, though, in the background, just saying. Stay holding it down. The guy said, enjoy the live. Gotta hit the gym. Stay strong mentally and physically. Peace. Yo, the guy, much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love, much love. Yo, we got lunch in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? Oh, Bubba, you actually came back. That's diabolical work. You said, gotta stop claiming that they're King Arthur and Charlemagne and Merlin magicians and Constantine. They were not Black. Okay. How about this? Bubba, I got you. No problem, right? Let's just say that is the case, right? Let's just say that Black people are trying to, claim all of that, right? No problem, right? I'm right there with you. How about you guys first? How about you guys are, stop claiming to be the first in Canada? Stop claiming to be the first in North America. Stop claiming to be the first in Australia. Stop claiming to be the first in South Africa. How about you guys stop claiming a lot of these areas of which we know that you didn't actually exist? You didn't actually originate from. You came directly from the Caucasus Mountains, but for whatever reason, you want to claim the whole world except for where your home actually originated from. Because you guys always say that, Black people, you guys are African, mud huts, all this other type of stuff, right? Living in the jungles, right? We don't have no concept of modern society. But yet you guys literally came from the Flintstones. Fred, Wilma, Betty, Bam Bam, Pebbles, Dino. You literally came from the Stone Age. You literally had your homes carved directly out of rocks, out of mountains. Just saying. Just saying, because if we're going to, sit up there and try to say who was ingenious and who wasn't, I would rather say that those in African areas are more ingenious because they made their houses portable, right? They can build their houses anywhere. Yours were pretty stagnant. They stayed directly up there in the mountains. They stayed up there in the rocks, and that's it. That's your lay to claim. That's your fame. Right? Wasn't it Moses that was sitting up there talking about he had to teach a group of people on how to stop walking on all fours? They had to place boards on people's backs in order to get them to walk upright. They weren't talking about Black Americans. Hate to tell you that. They weren't talking about the Africans. Hate to tell you that. So there's only one other group that they could have been talking about. And it will be the ones that lacked melanin. Just saying. Maybe, like I said, maybe I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've, watched the Ten Commandments and, seen all of those great stories. Just saying. Wait, what did Lunch said? You said Lunch said, how do we donate money with the new setup? Oh, my bad. I forgot I didn't have the banner actually going. Yeah, we got the dollar sign up there for the Cash App. Maybe I should actually put that, like, the next time when I have my live stream out for the SEIJIHITO down at the bottom. I'll actually make sure to put the dollar sign, directly there. I'll make sure to do that next time, so that it's, there. I really didn't think about that. My bad, Lunch. Because I saw you said at the bottom, you said, never mind, you found it. Okay, I got you. And also, I don't even got my cell phone on me. I think that's across the room. And again, anybody that did donate directly to the platform by way of Cash App and whatnot, much love, respect, and appreciation. And again, thank you for everything that you do. Much love, much love. Sham said the Caucasus Mountains was all black people too until their DNA mutated like it did. Next, we got even in Europe, Noble was black. White folks' history was in the caves. Mutation, breeding. What was it? Brittany Walker said, wait, $1,000 dono. Wait, where? Wait, were you just like typing that? Or I'm a little bit confused. I'm confused. Well, I'm not sure if it was something that you actually did or not, because I don't got my phone on me, but it's the thought that counts. So, much love. We got Lala in the building. I wish I gotta wait. Let me see which channel would she be going directly from? Let me see. Okay. Now I see. Okay, you put up the hearts, because let me tell you, Miss Anderson. Anytime you happen to put up the emojis, I can't tell, because you've been through this before. Using like StreamYard, but when you happen to use StreamYard and you're feeding both of the chats from YouTube directly to that, you can't. It doesn't properly show the emoji. So hopefully, at a moment in time, StreamYard would actually upgrade that, so people can properly see everything that you put up. So much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm not sure if you've been doing that a lot of the other live streams too, when it just showed up as boxes, but much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, wait, did I did write you back as well too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Well, let me see. Miss Wright said so-called black people, or the so-called black people, were the original nobility of Europe and the whole planet. These other individuals were crawling around in the caves. Well, it'd be like that. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Oh, CD was like, you actually think that the Flintstones is a documentary? I'm just gonna be honest. Yes, I'm just gonna be honest. Because I'm looking at reality. You may find it to be hilarious, but look up the Caucasus Mountains and look up the caves there. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. And people tend to forget of where Egypt is located. Like, when you tell people to actually type in, as I'm doing right now, type in Egypt, right? And you tell people to look on a map and you ask them, where is Egypt located? People's brains start freezing. People's brains start freezing. And then the craziest part is, you have a lot of people that will try to sit up there and tell people that Egypt is not African. I'm like, You do know where Egypt is located, right? You know where Egypt is, and you're going to say that that's not African. It's not a part of Africa. That is some crazy work. That is some real crazy. Like I said, I don't know the mental gymnastics that people really try to do. And I'm not sure if people, pass like geography or whatnot or whatever, but I think a lot of people need to go back to school. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. Because like Lunch basically said, it was like if, quote unquote, if the Europeans are basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically if Europeans were so great, why would you leave your great, outstanding European nation to come down to Africa, right? The dark continent. Why would you come there to learn anything about science, agriculture, mathematics, anything? Because there's not anything supposed where everybody in Africa is primitive. Everything in Africa is primitive. It's the dark continent, as they like to used to, call it in the documentaries and TV series and cartoons. There's nothing there but, just huts, mud, and, animals, zebras, gazelles. It's some crazy work. Like I said before, it's funny how this works. Cam said, yep, the Book of Enoch mentions them too. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Have Neanderthal DNA. The majority of black people have no such Neanderthal DNA whatsoever. Bubba said, but you said that Irish people are black. You also said King Arthur is black. The funniest thing is I originally didn't mention anything about King Arthur. I didn't mention anything about Dungeons and Dragons and wizards on Waverly Lane. I didn't mention any of that. That was clear cut in the comment section. But for whatever reason, you're trying to make it seem like I said it. Okay, no problem. But I will sit up there and state this. I find it very odd, right? So the Europeans are supposed to be the greatest minds directly out here. How is it possible, without trying to basically state that it was aliens, without the exception of aliens, how could an African tribe such as, what was it, the Dogon tribe, how would they know about a whole star system before Europeans? And they don't have any of the technology that quote unquote white men created. So if white people didn't give them the information to teach them, right? And we're not going to say aliens because that seems to be the go-to when nobody has a great explanation. Everybody, oh, the reason why, all of these things were built in Africa, it wasn't because of the Africans. We can't really figure out either. We don't even have the technology at this moment in time, no matter how smart we are. It was aliens, right? That's the fallback, because you still can't even process or explain to people aliens, even though y'all have also stated that aliens don't exist. So it's like, which one is it? The government told people for 60 plus years aliens don't exist, but anytime we bring up Egypt and the pyramids being built all over the world, and some that are also on a ley line around the planet that line up, you guys are like, oh, it was aliens, because y'all can't explain nothing. So that's the go-to. Stonehenge, it was aliens. Word. That's the best that y'all got. Your brightest minds, your greatest scientists, mathematicians, your greatest builders, aliens. That's crazy. So obviously, again, somebody ain't so great, because if y'all were so great as you are, you would have been able to rebuild all of these pyramids to perfection. Better yet, if the quote unquote Europeans were so great, going to Bubba, if you guys were so great, you wouldn't have lost the telemetry on how to get to the moon. Explain that to me. Explain, how do you lose the equations, mathematical equations, whatever it is? How do you lose the ability and the technology to go to the moon? Just wondering, because people want to talk about how great that they are. John said that $1,000 dono was in your imagination. I was clearly just reading a comment that somebody read. That's the main thing that I did. And I said that it's the thought that counts. That's literally what I stated. Captain Obvious, like, are you stupid? Oh man, I love the comment section. Let me tell you, this is why I love live streams. This is why I love live streams. You were like, I'm a 6'3" Asian. Why am I supposed to care? Like, like what is that supposed to even mean to me? 6'3". There's a lot of Black Americans that I know that are a lot taller than you and that are a lot more physically built because they work out every single day. I don't know what that's supposed to mean to me. I like this. Like, what is this supposed to be? This isn't. What's the name of that website? This isn't Grinder. Like you send up, you let me know that you're Asian and that your height and everything. Like, what are we doing out here? You're on the wrong live chat, buddy. You are on the wrong live chat, my friend. Wrong live chat. Much love, respect, and appreciation to Lunch for the $15 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, if you guys are actually sending stickers at the same time, because I know y'all doing it through the chat, I can't specifically see the sticker at the moment, but I know that it's there. I would have to like look through both channels in order to actually see it, because again, StreamYard doesn't properly show it. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation for everything that you guys do. Oh, we got another one in here. We got one of many. What is up? What is up? With a $5 dono. I'm just going to round that up because it's basically $5. Said that Egypt is definitely in Africa, if I remember correctly, Northeast Africa, and that's what I'm saying. And for the longest time possible, you have a lot of these people always sitting up here stating that, oh no, Egypt is not Africa, it's not a part of Africa, this, that, and the third. And they're stating that because they're trying to take away from Africa. They're trying to take away, they're trying to make it seem as though that the people of the continent would not be intelligent enough to create anything so great. So because that creation is there and there's no way for any other group to actually claim it, we're going to subtract that from the continent and just place that where it is. And I'm like, that's some diabolical work. But the funniest thing is, other than looking at Egypt, you in the Americas, you have more pyramids in the Americas than anywhere else. You have more pyramids in the Americas, more mounds in the Americas versus anywhere else. And then again, that's not even to mention the other pyramids that are located underwater in the ocean. That's not to mention the pyramids that are in Antarctica. And again, you got to sit up there and wonder, how would those pyramids get into Antarctica? Well, we used to have Pangea, where everything was all one at one point in time. And then the continents were, hey, we don't actually like this togetherness. We need to separate. We need to divide this up. And that's the main thing I try to sit up there and tell people, because if you think about it, if you want to, in a sense, look at something as like a body, right? You got Africa and then you got little Africa, right? So what I mean by that is, if you look at the main continent of Africa, the reflective continent of that is South America, which means that both of those were a piece of the exact same landmass at a moment in time. They're quite reflective in nature. As a matter of fact, you can almost, in a sense, say that it's a little bit of a smaller copy, in a sense. And then you got Antarctica, which fell, off to the bottom. Again, that was warm because scientists are further proving that by way of a lot of the vegetation and the bones that they found there. So, like I said before, this planet has always been a warm planet. Always been a warm planet. It's crazy work. And then that's the same thing I try to, anytime I bring up the Middle East, that's what I happen to try to tell people. I'm like, if anybody wants to find out where the quote unquote Middle East is, go look at a map. There is no such thing as the Middle East. This is just a way for the Europeans to try to divide certain things and to make people think that something is where it is when it was never there in the first place. They're talking about all one place, and it gets even deeper. It gets even deeper. As a matter of fact, let me just do it like this. Right? So then you sit up there and ask people, to go on a map and look up to see where Israel is, right? Where all of these places are that they always talked about, in the news. Right? Look up where Egypt, Israel, Jerusalem, Jordan. Look up where all those places are. Right? Like, and a lot of these places are still interconnected. Now, you got one piece of Africa, of course, that is breaking away, that's been breaking away for a very long time. And people are like, well, we're not going to consider this actually part of Africa. We're going to consider this basically other. This is going to be, in a sense, its own thing, even though you can clearly see that this is clear cut a part of Africa. But people want to, play, types of games to try to separate every single thing again, when we all know that Africa is one of, if not the most mineral richest land masses on the face of this planet. And again, I'm not talking about anything that's underneath the continents that scientists are just finding out, like the oceans that's larger than all of the oceans that we have on the face of the planet. I'm not even talking about anything like that, because we got continents under continents, right? So I'm not even going that far. But I'm just stating that at this moment in time, Africa is the most mineral rich, I said rich, rich landmass, that we have. And again, people want to try to find a way to separate a lot of that. Tobias said they lost because of aliens. Yo, Kit Kat, what is up? What's up? That's a name I ain't seen in a minute. What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Kit Kat said, if aliens did fly on down to Earth and chop it up with us, then that is even more of a testament to the greatness of Egypt, Kemet, and African people as a whole. Yeah, that's facts. Because it's like, why out of all of space and time, out of all of the universe, why would aliens decide to come and talk to just simple Aboriginal people that can't do anything? Why wouldn't they go to the Europeans and gift them with this great knowledge and this wizardry and this technology? Why wouldn't they sit up there and go to them first? And again, the Europeans don't have an answer for that at all. It's crazy work. And then you can go into a further extent where people want to talk about, the star people, star children, different things of that nature, and yada, 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 and, and all that good stuff. Sham said they're also finding civilizations dating back 11,000 years. So the idea that we were cavemen sounds ridiculous. We were never such people. The people who were this were more than likely isolated. Mm. NN said Pangea happened way before that. Let me see what else we got. Listen to the Dogon. They're known for their knowledge of our galaxy, saying that it is spiral, and modern science says it is. That's true. It's a mystery how they knew that. No, it shouldn't be a mystery. It shouldn't be a mystery. No. I don't want to hear. See, that's my problem. I don't like to sit up there and hear Europeans or anybody that's European like trying to say that something is a mystery. You guys are supposed to have, or those people are supposed to have, all of the answers. No matter what's going on with time and space, whatever's going on with the planets, whatever's going on, and with the Van Allen belt, y'all are supposed to know everything, because y'all were the first ones to ever sit up there and do it. So to sit up there and say that it's a mystery lets me know that obviously you're not as educated and as knowledgeable as you claim to be. That obviously there's some lies. There's some counterfeitery going on. Obviously that's not a word, but I'm making it a word today. Counterfeitery. And that's some crazy work. That's some crazy work. Like I said, I gotta start. I look down when I start hearing anybody Caucasian start talking about, oh, it's a mystery. No, it shouldn't be no mystery because y'all said that y'all found it. Y'all know everything out here. Y'all the masters of the universe. That's crazy. That's disrespectful to quote unquote your intelligence. That's some diabolical work. You're going to say that you're the geniuses out here, but yet there are still things out here we don't know. How is it that you don't know it? Did you just get lazy? Did you just get bored with information? You were just I know everything that I need to know, and I quit. Like, come on. That's some crazy work. Crazy work. That is some crazy work directly out here. You said it's a modern turn. Get over it. No, I can't get over it. I can't listen to quote unquote masters of the universe sit up there and say that it's a wonder. It's amazing. That's a cop out. That's a clear cut cop out because nothing of your literature, nothing of your education, nothing of your knowledge base can give you 100% answers on how somebody else knew and understood something before you even knew about it. So now it just has to be a wonder. Really? That's what we're doing. We're doing the same thing that religious folks sit up there and do. That anytime that somebody loses a life directly out here, everybody is like, "Up, it was as God designed it. It was God's plan." That's what we're doing. That's how we're chalking up all of this stuff. That's some diabolical work. That's crazy. Just for me, I'm just saying that's some crazy work. Like I said, as I've learned and as I clearly see time pass by and go on by way of social media, I'm starting to understand that the house of cards that people built, their foundation, their shaky foundation on for oh so long, is starting to falter. It's starting to degrade. It's starting to wither away. And now everything is being chalked up to being just an amazement, just being a wonder because you guys can't seem to explain anything realistically. You guys just found out that we have a larger ocean underneath the oceans that we got. You guys are just finding out that we got other continents inside of the planet. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But like I said before, I done seen all the documentaries when it deals with the Dogon tribe and many other peoples that are heavily melanated that had information before Europeans, and it always gets chalked up to by the great scientists of the time to it. Oh, it was the aliens. Long ago, the aliens, they were visiting Earth, and they just so happened to have saw these primitive people, and they just decided to take a shot in the dark and see what happens. And that's how you guys sum up all of this. That there it is impossible. If Europeans didn't do it first, the melanated people didn't do it. And if the melanated people did do it, it was obviously aliens that educated them and taught them everything that they needed to know. For whatever reason, you guys can't fathom that people who are melanated had the wisdom and just a great idea, just pulled some information from the universe and was like, you know what? We're going to build this. We're going to create this. Because again, like I said, still to this day, with the modern American technology that we have at this moment in time, y'all can't even sit up there and recreate a lot of the piping structures that they had that were built in stone. Y'all are like, we don't have the tools to actually cut stone like this. So if we don't have this now, how did they do this back then? It's crazy work. Crazy work. And Sham said, not to mention damaging artifacts, sites on purpose so that the truth doesn't come out. Yeah, because if you look at some of the hieroglyphs in the temples, those are broken and those are cracked. Because they specifically, once they found out how to read the hieroglyphics, they specifically went in and started destroying bits and pieces of the hieroglyphics so that it was like, okay, well, we understand it. We know who was here. We're not going to let this information get out. So we're going to destroy it. And then we're going to reseal the temple. Like I said, the Europeans are such great people, but yet you had to steal a lot of artifacts that were not yours, that didn't come from your land, and you transported those directly to Europe, where you got those in your grandiose museums, and your people are explaining about them. How could you explain anything about something that is not of your origin? That's some diabolical work. So you're just making up stuff. Instead of allowing the actual people that came from that land, came of those people, to explain what those artifacts are, what those masks are, what those tools are, what was in the sarcophagus or in the tombs, you are like, well, we are the victors, we are the champions. We're going to sit up there and narrate and write this story. Crazy work. That sounds like American history. How it is that American history in the United States doesn't really teach anything about Black American history. You teach a little bit. So, oh yeah, we're going to put the civil rights, Martin Luther King, maybe a little bit of Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party. Yeah, we're not really going to sit up there and do that. We'll put maybe some Harriet Tubman directly in there, W.E.D. Du Bois, and a few other people. But that's it. We're only going to limit it to probably about 5 to 10 people. That's it. That's enough Black people. All the rest of it has to be about our conquest, how it is that we were successful, how it is that we got this land, how it is that we modernized it, and how it is that we are the greatest of the greatest on the planet. That's American history. He said, Seji, YouTube is racist. I just received a racially coded advertisement. I don't know what that ad might have been, but that is funny. That is funny. That is funny. Like, man. Yo, Dark, what is up? What is up? Said they get jealous of our people who always had the knowledge. Yeah. Yep. Yep. The greatest testament to European knowledge are weapons of mass destruction. That's it. That's the most that I could sit up there and give. That's the greatest achievement. All of these weapons of mass destruction that are directly out there just running free. And that at any moment in time, something can transpire. You can magically have an ingenious hacker the moment in time that people get quantum computing and technology and whatnot directly into their hands. Like I said, everything is going to be something different. And a lot of people are not, really prepared for that. Mr. L said, having a great day. Bye. I don't even understand what that means, but okay. All right, no problem. I want to say Silver Phoenix, right? Or Silver Foe said, we melanated are people of creative spirits, being creative spirit beings. We innovate and invent everything on the planet. Sham said they can't even figure out how to build houses to survive a tornado, but our people built pyramids that withstand the test of time and sandstorms. That's a great point. Ash said, Seji, I recommend animations and storytelling is pretty good. You said Faber so? Okay. I'll sit up there and check that out. Let me just type that in real quick. I got you. Dun, dun, dun. I got you. Got that directly up there. All right. I was a little bit concerned on if he had an intro because I was gonna have to mute that real quick. Let me tell you. LOL, good work. Keep up the good work. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love. All right, so yeah, I see what you're talking about with the other. Oh, that man got views out here. That man doing it big. He is doing it big. Doing it big. L said I didn't say that. I'm looking at your comment. It says, have a great day. Bye. That's what it says. I'm looking at your comment at 7:20. Like I'm literally looking at the comments, sir. let me see if I can get my phone real quick. Actually, as a matter of fact, I actually have my phone. Let me see. I can't even get back to what I was looking at. There was one comment I'll probably highlight it in a different live stream, but I did at one point in time have somebody pull through. And again, much love, respect, and appreciation to all of the women at Pull Up and that subscribe to the channel. And also shout out to anybody that's a public subscriber, because now YouTube is actually showing me who are public subscribers and who are not. So again, much love and appreciation to anybody who has subscribed directly to the platform over the many a days that I've been doing these live streams, interacting with you guys, and different things of that nature. Much love, much love, much love. I'm trying to see if I can find the comment, which probably is going to be a little bit tough, because over time I have been doing live streams and videos, and I've had people that have had a variety of issues with some of the content that I have done, but more specifically, if they feel that I'm talking about a certain demographic, people want to leave comments. I'm trying to find this real quick. It's only we got about like 133. Shout out to all 133 people that are currently here at this moment in time. Shout out to y'all. Much love, much love. And actually, some of you guys, I can spot y'all rolling through the comments on my phone real quick from different videos. Let me see. Nope, that's not the one. I'm getting close. Somebody said congratulations to the man who created the 20 units. Yeah, that was a dope video that I had, and I wanted to add that in there as a positive twist to the streams. Who was that? We got Queen of Knowledge. All right. History clearly. I might have to go back. That's what it was. So I'm just gonna read this off. So shout out to Sherry. What was it? Sherry Rice 4149. Right? She said this. She said, "I really like your channel. I've learned a lot from following you. I'm old enough to be your mother, but some kind of way you always segue back to Black women, and I don't know why. You said yourself when you talk about other things, pretending to the stuff, or I think it's supposed to be pertaining to the stuff that other people do to us. You get a lot of views, but when you talk about Black women, you don't. I don't get it. I don't understand. But back in the day, we didn't have these problems, Black men and Black women, but y'all have less. Social media divides y'all, and right now we need each other. We don't need to be divided. Seeing that seeing, I think that's what she was writing. Seeing that so many people are against us, and who let everybody see how we feel about each other. Remember what the Hispanic man said." Yeah, like I said, I don't happen to know what to tell people. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation for that comment there. So, like I said, main thing is this. Anytime I happen to talk about, Ash said, "What? Do you have any pets? My rabbit is 12 years old. A few weeks ago, he was there during my breakup days after a long day at work and gave me company in the household." Yeah. I got 2 cats. Mr. L said, "Don't even perform, please. Don't give him a." Oh, wait, are you talking about? You might be talking about like the whole Kendrick thing from earlier. Yeah. What was it? What was I sitting up saying? Yeah. Anytime I happen to mention or talk about the Black community in a certain type of way, people get a little bit disheveled, panties up in a bunch. People start feeling a certain type of way. It doesn't matter if I specifically talk about the young Black men in general, also include myself. Black women, the young black women, the black girls out here, the elders, and so on and so on and so on. It just is what it is. A lot of people don't happen to like it. A lot of people don't want to listen to it. A lot of people don't hear it. And for me, it's like over time, I'm like, well, that's a personal problem. Again, if people happen to get offended by the message, I don't know what else to sit up there and tell people. I don't. Because if you're not going to care about black people, black Americans, if I don't care about black Americans, black people, then who else is going to sit up there and do it? That's the best way I can sit up there and put it to people. Sham said, look up the Sudan pyramids or the Nigerian pyramids or the Nubian pyramids. The funniest thing that I wanted to mention to people, and I did this in a previous live stream, is that I showcased the fact that in Africa, they got castles. They got castles. And people don't tend to talk about or wanting to mention any of that. Because as I keep saying this over the years, when you think about the castles over there in Africa, when you think about the castles over there in Europe, they always have a moat. And the moat would have water. They got the drawbridge and everything. But over there in Europe, they don't have anything to put in the water, right? It's not like they got piranha or, alligator, crocodile, caiman, whatever. It's not like they got any of those things, or hippos. It's not like they can put any of those things in their water in Europe. It's a cold climate, right? It's not meant for any of those warm climate type of animals. But then when you sit up there and think about Africa, and you think about castles there, and if they had a moat, there's a variety of different species of whatever that they could happen to put directly in that water. So if they did pull up the drawbridge or make a false drawbridge, somebody fell into that water, guess what? A hippo is going to get you. Alligator or a caiman or something like that is going to get you. Or whatever will be waiting, in there. Right. So, just putting that out there. Just saying. Mr. L said Kendrick just got used by Jay-Z. Dirty work. Catch up. Okay. I know that you're far back in the live stream. Far back. Hack had put in a link talking about Wikipedia list of castles in Africa. Yes. Yo, what is up, Hack? Shout out to Hack. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm not sure if Ty is here either, but also, shout out to Ty just in case, because usually you guys, Hack, Ty, and Mo are usually in the chat at one moment in time. So shout out, much love and appreciation to all the brothers out there. Much love, much love. Sham said, yes, castles are a original creation of Africa. Even if you could show proof and show that to people would be like, no, it's not. You guys are just trying to claim this, that, and the third, and everything else in far between. It'll be, that whole thing, right? Crazy work. Wait, what time is it? It's about 7:31 at this moment in time. My hand said the message was still delivered, used or not. I mean, yeah. That's some bars right there. But it is currently 7:31 at this moment in time on this Tuesday. I almost want to say night. So I'm going to set you guys free and let you guys, do what it is that you do. Go get some food, go catch up on some Netflix, some YouTube videos or some video games, because a brother needs to go find some food or start cooking at this moment in time. Again, I want to state much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that came directly through to the platform, that decided to donate and show love. Shout out to any of the trolls and the haters as well. It is what it is. You could have been anywhere else on YouTube, but you decided to come directly here and spend some time. So much love, respect, and appreciation. And I will catch all of you guys on the next live stream. Dark Titan said, great live stream. Have a good evening and good night. Lunch size said peace. Sham said, have a good night and a meal and stay safe, y'all. Ash says, Seiji, did you know that Africa used to have bears in the north? Sadly, the Arabs brought them to extinction. That's some very interesting stuff there. I did not know that, actually. I'm going to need to do a little bit of research. That's some great information. That's the more you know. The moment in time I happen to get a real stream set up, I'm going to have all of these things set up, We're gonna be hitting the mark every time. So I got y'all. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next live stream and video. And always remember, anything that I talked about in the live stream or showcase, I will have that in a smaller formatted video, which of course obviously is not going to be 8 hours long. But love you guys. See you guys later. And stay positive. Peace out.